Questions that need answers in training camp 2026. Who wants to go first?
Who is this team's backup quarterback?
Ooh, straight in. Great question.
Well, let's be honest. That's the big to me, and we're going to get into, I'm sure, various questions about all up and down this roster and various players and position groups. To me, ultimately, that's the thing that for the average fan, the norm is going to look at for the preseason, especially in the national space as well, for the Steelers, and look at, and like that's going to be kind of the primary thing, because a lot of people view this as like, who might be the successor to Aaron Rodgers, and is Will Howard going to be in that competition? Is Drew Aller going to show anything this offseason, or is that purely a project for onwards? Is Mason Rudolph still in that conversation? That's probably the question that the national media is going to be taking away from the Steelers training camp.
Yeah, I think you've got to say it's Rudolph has got the jump, and then we'll just wait and see what happens in camp. And that is a question that will be answered by the preseason games, because we'll see who's taking those reps and getting those snaps in the game. So
how much Rudolph do you think we'll see in the preseason, though? Because obviously we're not going to see any Rodgers.
Yeah, he's like the Dalton line of backups, right? He's perfectly serviceable as a backup. They know what they've got in him. You know, they will want to see him. They'll probably see a little bit more of him than Rodgers, I'd have thought. They want to see McCarthy. Will probably want to get used to how he works in his offense. Not a great mesh, actually. Like Rudolph as a statuesque, kind of wanting to look downfield with his, he's got quite a big arm, remember, but just no anticipation, no timing, terrible with those horizontal throws as well, which is the McCarthy offense. So I don't think he's a great fit, but I think his experience, his professional approach to being prepared, he's got the pole position to be the backup, I'd have thought.
Yeah, and Vegas is making that point in the chat as well. Mason's the only quarterback that's taken NFL snap besides Aaron. Can't really see them having a rookie as number two. That is the prevailing wisdom across a lot of circles. And then I see other people sort of almost discounting Mason Rudolph. I mean, again, if you look nationally, it almost feels like Mason Rudolph doesn't exist. People are talking about Drew Aller and Will Howard immediately after talking about Aaron Rodgers, as if they've forgotten that Mason Rudolph's there. So I think it will be, and that is the question that needs an answer in training camp. Is that old sort of idea going to hold true, that actually it's the experience that's going to be the important thing here? And even though everybody forgets him because he's not sexy, well, he is sexy if you look at his dating profiles. But he's not a sexy name in NFL circles, Mason Rudolph. And so I wonder if it's not getting a lot of support here. Tough crowd today, boys.
So I was deep in menus. I had to reverse out of menus to give you that sound drop.
So I wonder if that'll hold true, or if it'll actually be a case of, hey man, at some point these guys have got to see time on the field. We've seen enough in preseason to be impressed with, Drew Aller or Will Howard. I don't think Drew Aller's really in the running for this. I really don't. I think people are talking about it, but I think it's wish casting. It's hoping. It's hopeful. It's not. I don't see it happening. I continue to think that Drew Aller will pick up a mysterious injury and go missing for 12 months. I know people keep telling me it's not that simple, but we'll see.
They'll pull the Will Howard 2026.
Right.
Oh, he's hurt his thumb. He can't throw.
Right. Exactly. So we shall see what ends up happening there. But I still think, as it stands, Will Howard and Mason Rudolph are almost in direct competition.
Still, we've seen so little. I know if Mark was here, he'd be going, Howard's already the backup quarterback. He's
right, that's what I mean.
Such a Howard stan. Ketz, what do you think?
I want to see Howard, and I want to see him do well, because I think he's got the better upside. I think he's played in bigger stadiums than Heinz Field. Don't forget, he's played at Ohio State, Michigan, etc. All these big, Big 10 schools. Well, it should be called the Big 18, but that's by the by. He's played at those stadiums. He's won the national championship. He's played in front of big crowds in big stadiums. So he has got that game experience. Yes, fair enough, not specifically in the NFL given the injury last year. But I think he has got enough in his locker to be able to go out there and beat Mason. I think it generally is like a proper battle for QB2. And I think that will be across the three. It's 3 games we're playing this year, isn't it? Obviously, I imagine they'll have Rodgers out there in Lambeau for a couple of snaps, just to let the crowd say goodbye to him, kind of thing, just to do the whole ceremonial thing. But other than that, I think the rest of the games will be, hopefully quite competitive and give these guys a real real run out and see what they've got in the locker. I do want to see maybe a quarter of Drew Aller, but sort of season-wise, I want him to essentially redshirt, just sit and learn behind the rest of the guys. Let the team, the quarterback coach, McCarthy, etc., really break down his mechanics, as we've said, build him up from scratch. I think the product that he put out at Penn State last year was nowhere near kind of where you'd feel safe putting him on an NFL field. So yeah, let's have Mason and Will Howard, and let's see what they can deliver.
Yeah, I think Howard and Aller are the exciting prospects. Rudolph is the known quantity with, as Reese says, an uninspiring ceiling. But you still got to value what he does bring. If Rodgers goes out for a drive in a big pressure situation in a game you don't want to lose, you'd probably be grateful for Rudolph coming in and just managing the situation and not sending in. I know he's not a rookie, but he's still no snaps. So there's pressure there, and so there's a role for him on the team. But obviously everyone's more excited about these rookies. Sorry, who did you say, just so I can mark it down for
what as for who will be the number 2 QB?
Who is or who will be? Yeah.
Oh man,
this is at the end of training camp, right after the 3 preseason games.
Where we sit right now, I'm feeling like a little bit further. Like I'm going to be hopeful and say Will Howard.
Same.
All right, cool.
And then what's going to happen is next year, Gav's going to read that. I'm going to go, I don't think that I said that.
Mason Rudolph's probably retired or not on the Steelers anymore, Rob. Texans' 3rd string quarterback or something. Probably win a Super Bowl knowing our luck.
All right, I'm going to pose my question, which is going to be a bit of a...
Hang on. Did you answer that question, Gav?
I did. I said Rudolph just to start with.
You said Rudolph. Okay.
Yeah, I said Rudolph to start. Right. My question is, can McCarthy breathe some life into this offense? Question mark. That's the question. So what is this offense going to be? Like, is he going to revert to just the Green Bay kind of style West Coast? Because he's going to fall back into a rhythm with Rodgers. They're just going to dig out their old playbooks and go back to that? Or is he going to be influenced by his time in Dallas, like the Kellen Moore, all the way back to Jason Garrett inspired, more vertical, Air Coryell offense that Dallas was running under Kellen Moore. Now it did when McCarthy took over in 2023. It did become a bit shallower, a bit more timing based. The West Coast thing. Everything's timed off the steps of the quarterback, so it's really precision, but doesn't attack downfield quite as much. So you could argue it's a less dangerous offense. So what do we think? That's kind of where we're going with this. Where are we going to see some Kellen Moore, some Jason Garrett, or is it just going to be back to what McCarthy knows best? And the offensive coordinator, who name escapes me. What's his name, Ketz?
Brian Angelico.
Right.
In his first interview, he did say we're going to take core principles of the West Coast offense that have been very successful through a lot of years during Coach McCarthy's time, and it'll all start with the quarterback. Now, bearing in mind, McCarthy, Angelico, and Rodgers were all at Green Bay together. So they've got that kind of starting point. So you almost take the Green Bay 2018, 2019, 2020 playbook. That's probably what we're looking at. In terms of that, and then building, around that. But I don't know, the league kind of
famously, Ketz, Mick, I can't keep up anymore with the Mick McCarthy just infecting my brain. Mike McCarthy is the guy who, obviously, after getting fired from Green Bay and then spending the year in exile, came back and had the whole thing with the, I spent the year watching the new NFL and evolving my coaching style and stuff, and that was after Green Bay, and then obviously a lot of that comes out to be that he said that he lied and didn't really do that. But all this is to say, do we think that Mike McCarthy has evolved since that time, or do we think that? That's the crux of Gav's question. But I think you'd be surprised if there wasn't an attempt to kind of mix that, mix that up a little bit and kind of add some new stuff in and mature this offense a little bit. and kind of you would hope that it's not just a complete regression to the 2020, 2019, 2018 Green Bay offense. But I must admit, I am somewhat, and I think it will be obviously, but I think that I am a little bit just hearing all this and hearing obviously about these three guys being together for so long in Green Bay, a little bit worried that we might creep into kind of like what was comfortable is comfortable. That Mike Tomlin used to talk about this all the time, is that he ran from being comfortable, right? And you can argue that landed us at 8 wins, 9 wins every season, but
which was very comfortable, ironically.
Very comfortable indeed, ironically. Yeah, even though he kept running from it, he was stalked by it. But I don't know. Is this going to be comfortable? I'm not sure, but
I don't know, because in Dallas they called it the Texas Coast offense, right? When McCarthy went there and was merged with Moore's playbook. So you've got to hope that because what Moore was doing was he was taking the Air Coryell offense, which Vegas said in the chat he loved watching. That's a big downplay offense. He was taking that system and he was putting a lot of window dressing so that every play looked different. And then, but then at the snap, it was the same play, if you know what I mean. So that was the system. Yeah. So it was a lot of disguise and trying to confuse your opponent by giving them different looks. So you've got to hope that McCarthy saw the success of that in 2021, 22, and then when Moore left and he reversed to his more West Coast system, it didn't work as well. Which the other thing that Kellen Moore did really well was exploiting matchups, right? So, and it often involved CeeDee Lamb, but if he would go other ways, just finding matchups that worked and then just peppering that matchup. So not just trying to run your playbook or spread it about, just finding the weakness and just hammering that weakness. So there's got to be things that McCarthy took from that and will be expanding into. What are we going to call it? A Steel Coast offense? I don't know what it is, but this new Steelers Brent, I'm excited to see. I'm just hoping it's not just falls flat and becomes horizontal passing game. Rodgers running around trying to avoid getting sacked.
Sorry, what Reese has just said in the chat is exactly what my concern was, and I think what a lot of our concerns were when Mike McCarthy was hired by the Steelers, was that this is a 62-year-old coach. You're going out and hiring one of the more seasoned veteran coaches that is available. Really, the most veteran coach that was available. Really, realistically. Why are you expecting that that's going to be someone who's going to sort of modernize and adapt? And we kind of haven't seen those attempts for those older coaches to come back and have a second, third swing. I don't think we've seen them go that well, to be honest. You guys have kind of convinced me a little bit, but when I think about it for a second, I am like, I was a bit worried about this when we signed him, and what has actually happened to convince me that otherwise? Sorry, go on, Kez.
I was going to say, under Tomlin, it was all very unimaginative. It was safe, conservative, very, ultimately 9-8 consistently every year, draft 20th. At least McCarthy has a better understanding of offensive football, of how to stress defenses. I think his scheme is very kind of modular. It's very structured. It's very kind of thought out. And sometimes I looked at the Tomlin and the various coordinators he had, and some of them had very grand ideas. Like Arthur Smith was very tight end heavy.
Matt Canada
was, God even knows what that was.
Jet sweep.
Throw everything behind the sticks, jet sweep, motions, etc. At least McCarthy is starting from a competent position. He did well with Green Bay. He did well with the Cowboys. There's a lot of slant and flat combination routes. There's a lot of kind of curl routes. There's a lot of tight end, slot receiver, passing game adjustments. And then he has the ability to kind of, the defense is doing something. Then he adjusts again, keeps that pressure, keeps them thinking. Whereas I don't think the certainly in my entire time watching the Steelers, now bearing in mind I came in after the Killer Bees, so I've never watched competent Steelers offense ever. It's got to be better than all that, and it's got to be a more exciting product that's put on the field. But then, as you talk about the Texas Coast offense, surely he's learned from that as well, and he's learned from just sat watching the NFL for a year, and he's probably got a load of ideas that he's cooked up while he's sat, by himself downstairs in a dark room watching players and watching how the league has transformed over the last year and go, do you know what? I reckon this would work and that would work. He's probably drew up, an extra 100 plays while he was sat there. And I think with the combination of his standard offense, but with a bit of the window dressing, like Gav said, with the pre-snap motion, he likes kind of very aggressive groupings. You'll see 4 wide receivers on one side of the ball in 11 personnel to try and stress the split safety defenses, open up spaces for RPOs, run the game, have the run game work aggressively so that then, means more players come down into the box, and then you stretch the field and you can stretch it horizontally, vertically. And I think he will throw over the middle of the field. So yeah, we might see a few more interceptions, but we'll actually see Muth come into his own, hopefully. And there's a potential exciting future as a result of not having Tomlin that was so easy to schematically defend against because you knew what he was going to do. And you add to that the talent that's on the offense this year as well. And I think it's exciting.
Tomlin shackled his offensive coordinators, I think, right? It was all very conservative, wasn't it? And let's let's not turn the ball over. Let's kick and let's defense win the day. McCarthy didn't have the ideal quarterback in Dallas to run his system, right? I don't think Prescott was the perfect match. You know who is? Aaron Rodgers, right? So that's got to be a massive bonus, and presumably why both Rodgers is back and McCarthy got the job is because let's give this another shot. So I am.
Can I just make can you understand, Gav, though, and maybe tell me what's the argument against this? Can you understand from the perspective of a lot of these talking heads in the media at the moment why they would sort of see this and say, well, it was already like on the downturn in Green Bay back when this fell apart to begin with, right? And since then, Aaron Rodgers got a lot older and has had a major Achilles injury. Mike McCarthy's been fired from a different team, and we're bringing it all back again for we're all like really old and we're going to do it again in Pittsburgh. Like I can see the angle of it where it's like this isn't actually a very serious thing. But then when, again, like I say, I come here and I sit here and I talk to you guys about the in-depth details of it all, and we talk about the coaching and the changes, and I do start to get like, oh, okay, maybe this can work out. But I do see the cynicism. Do you know what I mean? Like I do understand why it's kind of viewed on a surface level as like, why are we expecting better results from just dragging these guys that failed 8 years ago and bringing them to now and asking them to do it again?
It's a good point, but should we have gone for Schierhasser and a younger system?
Sure.
I don't know. That would have been such a jump from Tomlin. This at least feels like there's grown-ups in the building and there's people with ideas, and I want to give it a shot. I'm not going to write it off. I think people benefit from firing takes off, right? And being negative about a team. It gets engagement. It gets clicks. It's far more boring to say, I'm kind of excited to see what this team's going to do.
And if there's one thing we pride ourselves on here, Gav, it's being boring.
Right, very boring. Very boring.
Dry football analysis is what you'll get from this show.
Ran has delivered an essay in the chat. He says, during 2019, McCarthy spent time improving his football knowledge and strategies with Jim Haslett, Frank Signetti Jr., and Scott McCurley. McCarthy studied league playbooks, league trends, and analytics with the intention of returning to the NFL. He said that his McCarthy project made him definitely a better coach. Let's give the guy a shot, right? Let's
this was the whole thing, right? Where he took a bunch of coaches out to a wood cabin and held a topless retreat for a year to learn about football. I've maybe added the topless part, but that's what happened.
They sacrificed animals, bloodletting.
I really would love to know, like, actually the logistics of that trip. Like, how long was it? How long did he spend in the? It's a real. When we say like I've got to go to the mountains and think on it. Like they really did.
They actually really did it. They woodshedded it.
They actually did it, and they solved football. And now he's here to save football in Pittsburgh.
Right. Okay. Let's see. So, can McCarthy breathe some life into this offense? With the question, I'm going to say yes on that. Who's with me?
I say yes.
I'll agree. Yeah, because I think I'll tell you why. Because the bar's low, right? Like when we look back at this in a year, I think even if we've lost more than we've won, if the offense kind of was more exciting, we'll say, well, yeah, he did do that.
Anyone in the chat want to give their responses to this? If they disagree, please come ahead. Right, Reese has said, I'm not writing this off, but the hyperbole the media had, especially after McCarthy's first conference, papers over the cracks in the roster, the work this team needs, the culture in the front office. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
That's the thing. It's going to be such a cultural shift in that whole building, and that's exciting. And just not only we spoke about the number of coaches before, we've increased the number of coaches, and again, Rand from Coaching Corner says 9 of the new Steelers coaches were part of the 2018 Packers coaching staff. So that's a really exciting thing. You've got a lot of experience in there, and you've not just got kind of a guy that surrounds himself with yes men. You've got a lot of hopefully good football minds.
Well, we hope they're not yes men. I mean, he's got the gang back together. Maybe they are yes men. Maybe that's why he's pulled them up. But we shall see.
I've got a question. Maybe this is for Ran in the chat or anyone, if anyone knows. What's Mike McCarthy? That's really taking me some time to figure out. What is Mike McCarthy's sort of history or background with working with young quarterbacks? Has he got like? Because obviously with Aaron Rodgers, was he there? He wasn't there when Aaron Rodgers was drafted, was he? Or was he?
He didn't draft him, but he came in his rookie season or second.
Oh, he
season.
did?
Yeah, no, he didn't draft him, but they both started together.
Oh, okay,
I think, or they're
interesting.
very, very close.
Basically, what I'm wondering is if anything, let's touch wood. But if anything was to happen to Aaron Rodgers, right? Obviously, all this is predicated in our minds on the idea that we're getting the gang back together with Mike McCarthy. No, don't put the pound in the jar, Reese. With Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers getting back together. If Aaron Rodgers were to go down, God forbid, what's the view? What's the history like of him working with these young guys? Like, what have we got any in-game, league experience when Aaron Rodgers went down at any point in Green Bay or whatever? Like, did he have success with backup quarterbacks, young quarterbacks?
Scott Tolzien looked all right for a second.
Yeah.
And
we saw, maybe a question to think about.
Yeah, and we saw though the OTA video of him like completely breaking down Allah's footwork, right? Which is, as I said, it's key to the West Coast offense. He needs to get that right. So, it's
I mean, clearly viewed as a quarterback whisperer in some sense, and viewed as an expert on the quarterback position. I'm just wondering if there's like kind of, I guess what I'm saying is like when the quarterback unexpectedly goes down in mid-season, like is he prepared to pick up with the quarterback who's maybe not as prepared as Aaron Rodgers was to run his offense and run a, I assume, simplified version or whatever?
Right. Well, let's hope so. But I think he has had success when backups have come in. Tolzien's the one that comes into my head, but I'm pretty sure there's other ones over the time.
Rich Gannon at Kansas, it says. McCarthy rebuilt the fundamentals of Rich Gannon when Gannon was back up in Kansas City, leading him to an NFL MVP season with... he's back up in Kansas and then he had an MVP season with Oakland. I don't know, is that right? Is that just internet nonsense?
That's probably right.
I don't know. But I think we've already seen him kind of trying to rebuild the fundamentals of what's the newest quarterback called?
Allah.
Losing track of
Allah.
my brain in the right order. Drew Allah, that's the one. You've already seen him breaking down the footwork and getting really involved and kind of hands-on. You've almost got the Tom Arthur quarterback's coach, you've got Angelico, the offensive coordinator, and you've got McCarthy all paying close attention to Allah, and Howard will benefit from that as well. So I think having that real experience and, yes, maybe not working with as many young guys over the years as perhaps we might like, but I feel like he's got that experience to break things down. He's been there, he's seen it, he's seen different situations, seen different defenses, and I feel like he would be able to coach those players through. And obviously, it might be difficult if they go down in game, but I feel like even if they had like a few days or a week to kind of prepare, I feel like he'd be a good coach that would be able to give that quarterback a decent chance of going out on a Sunday or whatever day the game is and putting up a good kind of version of themselves.
Yeah, that's well. I hope so. It seems like he's that kind of. That's why he was brought in. I like what Reese has said as well in the chat about. I know it takes us back a little bit to the Mason Rudolph thing, but Alex Smith in 2005, young Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay. Sells himself as the head coach, developing quarterbacks, which makes Rudolph at number 2 less plausible. It is a good point. Like if we're bringing in Mike McCarthy as this quarterback guru, a developer, wouldn't it be a little bit counterproductive to cut, I assume, or whatever, Will Howard for the sake of the the steady hand at quarterback?
Oh, they've got to find a way to keep all 4 of these guys, I think. And I think it is the Allah injures his thumb. It's the easiest way.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of those. If you listen to the draft community, then we're definitely taking a quarterback this year, no matter what happens. So it's all kind of a little bit up in the air anyway.
So,
All right, next question.
I was going to say, Reece summed it up. He's put schematically, we should be better on offense. I mean, can it get worse? So I think that agrees. That's a yes to this question. Can McCarthy breathe some life into this offense? I think we've all said yes. Whether it's going to be a good offense or not, that's a different question. Yeah, but it's going to be better than it was. And there were times when I liked Arthur Smith and what he was doing, but it was just there was nowhere to turn to. If you weren't 3 points up heading into the fourth quarter, the game was cooked, right? So there was no flip side.
It was all playing around behind the line. It was.
Yeah, and you shouldn't create an offense where if you lose your tight end, the whole thing collapses, and that's what happened when Washington went down. Right, Ketz, have you got a question for us?
I have. It's a very simple question. O-line, what will it look like in 2026-7?
Now, I have a question because I was going to ask, is it a yes or no question? Because when you were reading out all the questions before, Gav, it suddenly dawned on me that they were all like questions with defined yes or no answers. And so then I panicked.
No, they don't have to be.
So
No,
conscious of
they
that
don't have to be.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
They don't have to be.
As long as Gav can prove himself to be correct, ultimately, that's the only
I can share the
consideration.
spreadsheet, but the spreadsheet don't lie. It's a good question. There's only one player playing in the same position as last year, and that's Zach Frazier, right? Because Fautanu's moving to the left tackle. Mason McCormick is going to left guard, if I'm right. So that means it's a competition for right guard between Dunker and Anderson, is it? Or is it someone else? I don't know. Brock Hoffman? I don't know. And then right tackle is a competition between Dylan Cook and our rookie Max Ihanachor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it's going to look like. It's going to be...
Well, and so can I pose a couple of questions that maybe we could include on the spreadsheet to do with this then? That I had written down.
Questions, yes.
Yeah, like because they're on this topic, but maybe we can have defined yes or no's on them.
Yeah, I think there's almost 5 questions on this topic. Who's going to be the starting left tackle? Yes.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I was going to say, first of all, can Troy Fautanu and Mason McCormick make the switch from right to left as a duo and look as effective on the left as they did on the right? That's the first question. And then the second question is, does Dylan Cook have what it takes to hold off Max Ihanachor through training camp and start in week 1?
Yeah, I almost don't want to see them rotating people in and out. I kind of want them quite early on to decide who their starting 5 is. Yeah, and stick with it. Let them build some kind of coherence early, rather than what we've seen with them splitting reps. And then the guys, you need an understanding, right? It's like who's picking up that blitzer. They know. It's not they're waiting to find out. And so that's the concern. So I'd rather, even if it means that Ihanachor and Dunker aren't in getting first team reps, when they're the 2 players that you're excited and you want to see, right? But even if they're in the second line there, and we're giving Anderson and Cook first team reps all through the preseason, and let's just they're the veterans. Let's let them play. I think Anderson particularly earned a chance. Cook, great season, but can we trust it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
Have
Jason's
we got the
saying.
best second team O-line in the league, especially if Broderick Jones comes back and is fit and does ever play again? I have questions about that. But our second team O-line is Broderick Jones, Jennings Dunker, Ryan McCullum, Brock Hoffman, Maxi Ihanachor. That's pretty damn good.
It's not bad.
Certainly some depth there. Yeah.
Now, I'm to your question about can Mason and Troy switch to the left, I'm going to say yes, because obviously Troy was fantastic left tackle at Washington, very technical. I think he'd probably be better at left tackle than he was last year at right tackle. Much more of your classic pass protecting, space covering tackle than a road grading mauler. So I'm going to say yes to that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree as well. Obviously, yeah, like you said, played in college. Do we know if, again, I'm asking difficult questions, did Mason McCormick play left guard as well as right guard in college? I'm assuming probably.
I'm not sure about that one. I can ask AI.
I'll have a look. While we.
But yeah, I think I'll agree. I think I'll agree that hopefully that switch works. I must admit, there's a part, there's a part of me that's like, it was working so nicely. It's a shame that we're having to kind of finagle things again, and I hope we don't end up, spending half the season talking about how things just aren't gelling again. But I'm being hopeful with a lot of these questions, it seems like. But yeah, I'll be hopeful and say that they can.
Mason McCormick played 3,378 snaps at left guard at South Dakota State. So I
Well,
think that's a
damn.
resounding yes. The boy can play left
I
guard.
think
So
it's
he's
fair
gonna
to
be-
say he knows how to move left as well as right.
He's going to be absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Absolutely fine.
19 snaps at right guard in college, just for completeness.
On the Dylan Cook point, Jason says in the chat, I wonder if Dylan Cook can perform at a high level all season. Yeah, fair enough. I acknowledge this, but just maybe it's the little man supporter in me, the lover of the underdog. But the way that he played at the end of last season, you really just couldn't pick at it. And just I hate to see a guy do nothing wrong and lose his opportunity. You know what I mean?
But don't you want that guy? He's undrafted. You want that guy as your backup tackle, your swing tackle.
No. I think that's obviously the ideal, regardless, right? Is that he did? But I think in order for that to be strong, I think he probably does still need to develop a little bit, and he can only really do that by seeing time. Now, obviously, anything can happen. Who knows what's going to happen in terms of injuries and who's going to be available and whatnot. But I just think a lot of it's going to depend on Maxi Hanacho, because obviously investment in him is the most important thing, right? It really trumps everything to do with Dylan Cook because of where he was drafted. But if we can sort of assess, right, is Maxi Hanacho the kind of guy that's going to actually benefit from spending a little bit time on the sidelines, getting used to things, or is he the kind of guy that we need to just let him jump right in and learn from doing? That's really for the coaching staff to know, not me. But I just think I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater with Dylan Cook, is what I'm saying. I want to make sure that we continue to develop him and we continue to see a little bit more out of him, and he doesn't just kind of get buried and eventually lost and on the bench and never seen again. Because there was a glint there of what and we've seen a history of this team develop. I know it's different coaches and whatnot, but this team's seen a history of developing these low ranked and undrafted offensive linemen and them coming really good. So I just would like to see that again and continue that history. But
yeah, I mean, to be fair to Cook, he's looked good in every preseason game he's played as well. So I would.
So I mean, we haven't really seen much of a bad. I don't say we haven't seen a bad snap. I'm sure we've seen many, but we haven't seen a bad game out of him really. So
I think I'm willing to give him the shot at starting. I think he earned it.
And I suppose that's the question, right? That is this question. Week 1, who's starting at right tackle?
I think it probably is Dylan Cook.
It's a tough one. I don't know.
Just to mention Broderick Jones as well. Apparently he's doing well, participating in individual drills and weightlifting. No timeline set for return to full team activities, but his training camp status is being monitored, as is his start of the season status as well. So that's potentially positive as well. But bearing in mind, he did go through spinal fusion surgery, which doesn't sound in any way lighthearted as an injury.
Isn't that what Thingy had? The cornerback that we signed?
Jamal Dean?
No. The other guy played for us last season. My brain no work. Sorry, 1 second.
Remind me. Not on the team anymore, no?
Yeah, we re-signed him.
Jalen Ramsey.
No.
Asante Samuel. Yeah, Asante Samuel.
Isn't that what Asante Samuel had?
Yeah, he did have a spinal
fusion
thing. Yeah, he did. You're right.
But he was a rare example of coming back from that, I think.
Slightly different.
And I don't know.
Different position.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how that would work with the offensive lineman. Obviously, huge weights being dealt with, but also the swivel of the spine and the
torque.
The torque on the hips.
Pressure,
yeah.
But if Jones can come back, and if he could be, he is. All right, you're not going to keep him as this. Like, he's going to leave and get paid to be a tackle somewhere else if he has a good season. But if he, for 1 year, if he plays tackle eligible, he will be the best tackle eligible the Steelers have ever had. I'll put my money on it, because he's such a good mover. And when he's not, being asked to pass protect, but he can just get out in space, kill a dude, maybe even catch a pass. Like, basketball background. And I reckon he's going to blow away your Spencer Andersons and your who's your guy with your who's the dude that used to have the fan favorite guy with the neck roll thing? What was his name?
Strong podcast for memory and names.
Yeah. This is
Zach Banner. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So he's gonna blow away the memory, which is apparently already seeping away by itself.
Lest we forget.
Yeah. But Broderick Jones is going to be the best when he comes back. The best damn tackle eligible player the Steelers have ever had, and people are going to turn it around, I reckon. And then he'll come back in, try and pass protect, and be junk.
I love the shithousery of like use it. Just the Steelers deciding to just use their former first round tackle who just had spinal fusion surgery as a tight end in the red zone.
It's coming. It's coming.
Still a better use of a first round pick than Kenny Pickett, though. So yeah, at least he's still on the team.
Bigger hands.
Okay,
All
so the
right.
questions I got are: can Mason and Troy switch to the left? We've all said yes. Ketz, I just wrote down O-line. So I'm not sure
Question mark.
what the
Yes.
question was.
Well, that was
Will
why I
we
tried
have
to
a
add the actual
successful
definitive
O-line?
question.
I guess. Yeah.
O-line success.
Yeah, but we can't answer that in training camp. Is the thing? That's a question for training. That's a
Yeah.
question for the season.
So I would say
Does
the question is...
Hanacho make the team week 1? Is a question.
Okay, I'm saying no to that.
Well, so I
I
think
think you're
that's the
right.
question of like, is Dylan Cook or Max Anderson? Or I guess you could throw in Anderson as well, right? Who is starting week 1? So I think we should almost give a name there instead of a yes or no.
Okay, so what? So who is starting at
Who's starting at right tackle?
right tackle?
With Broderick Jones being like a void, right? Like obviously, if Broderick Jones comes back somehow and miraculously is able to play by week 1, then all bets are void. But otherwise, who's starting at right tackle? I'll say Dylan Cook.
Me too. Cook.
I think it'll be Cook, but I think he'll be on a very short leash.
No, if you're both saying Cook, maybe I should say Hunch. No, I'll stick with Cook.
Okay. Any more O-line questions, or is that it? I was just saying. My question was, can the line find cohesion with only one player playing the same position as last year? But I think it can. The line generally does, but whether not in training camp. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
a
really
season
an answer.
question, yeah.
So let's just not answer that because it's a silly question. Right.
Will Jennings Dunker kill a guy to an extent the entire fan base is in uproar and demands that he start week 1? I'm going yes.
Will he vomit up raccoon stew at some point? Possibly.
Raccoon stew.
Always
Hey,
an
that's the
outside
perfect
chance.
segue. Have you seen the raccoon running wild in Seattle? He's called Jimothy.
Okay, this needs to be Googled on the
No.
stream.
I was hoping that would. I did send a chat in the Zencaster chat room. I don't know whether that's easy for you.
That's so
But,
buried on my screen, you wouldn't even believe it.
Okay, that's all right. I thought
So
it might be.
buried.
But this is doing the rounds on the internet today. Is this Seattle-based raccoon?
Is he going to get in the O-line?
And
we are.
well,
Is he
well,
right tackle or?
the reason why I think this is UKSP related is that it reminds me a lot of Ketz's monkey. It's a very similar kind of movement profile
Here we are.
as it
Okay.
as it
Is there
passes
sound?
on the screen. I don't know if there's sound. I just maybe
That
just need to
is that
see.
is a what the hell? That's not a raccoon. That's like an Akira monster, like something out of what's up with this body? Why is it so large? And its legs Oh, short spine
What?
syndrome. Okay, yeah. It's
Oh,
like a
look at
hybrid thing. I'm sure there was a video game where you could like take different animals and make them
Spore.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that.
So I'd say maybe 10th percentile height, but probably 85th percentile weight.
I mean, is he the ultimate bowling ball? Do we need to contact Dave and see if he makes the old bowling ball team, Jimothy?
That's what he
Jimothy
looks
the
like. He
Seattle
looks
raccoon.
like he looks like a ball with legs. That's exactly
can he play
a
fullback?
furry ball.
Arr.
That guy is weird.
That guy is weird. So yeah, just all I'm asking is for the listener and for us throughout the season, just to hold Jimothy in our hearts and remember
I will try.
he's out there waiting. All right, next question. Here's one for you. Does Aaron? Wait, I worded this really badly when I wrote it. Does Aaron want to
Forget
look
that,
at
start
the?
again.
I wrote. Does Aaron want to look at the young guys?
Well, I've often wondered about him, but
Basically, will we see Jamie Bernard or Roman Wilson even focused on during training camp? Like, are either of those guys going to have like a big training camp? And is it primarily going to be really through this kind of faux, well, be it faux or be it real, connection with Aaron Rodgers, or is it another lost year for young playmaker development?
right. So maybe this ties into my question, which is now not on the docket because you've stolen it. But I'm going to pose it.
Please, what was your question? It may be better.
Well, no, it's the same thing. But who is going to emerge as the speed / separation receiver? Because who is that guy at the moment? They don't have one, right? I mean, DK and Pittman, not exactly the same, but they're not that. Is it Roman Wilson? Is he finally going to get some what? Is it Bernard? He's not exactly speed and separation. He's kind of useful number 2. Who is it?
Maybe it can be Roman Wilson. Maybe that is the role Roman Wilson was born to play.
A question from Mr. Mark Hansen. Will Roman Wilson make the 53?
Oh, I like that as a. I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes. He has to.
I think they like the idea of him as a project, even though this is his 3rd year, right?
2024, yes.
I think a lot of players in his position, given his output, would maybe not make it to the 3rd season, even given his draftable position. But I think just luckily because of a couple of flashes last season, and then obviously the new coaching staff coming in and sort of saying, okay, well, this is a new set of ingredients, basically, right, that we need to assess. I think he's got a very good chance of being in with an opportunity to not only make the team, but be an effective contributor on the offense this year.
It's a different hot dog with different ingredients. And I think Bernard does Bernard give Roman Wilson a better chance of making the team because Bernard is going to be the 3rd receiver. So I think receivers 1, 2, 3, that's easy, right? You just write those names straight down. I don't think there's a competition almost. And I think it's then up to Roman Wilson to do enough in training camp and in those preseason games to make the roster. I think we'll look at Bernard and just go, yep.
I mean, really, who has Roman Wilson got to fend off to make the roster? I mean, Ben Skowronek really is more of a special teams contributor anyway. I mean, to be honest.
And so is Weechan, although, is Weechan going to be more than Tim Dwight and actually be an actual receiver? I hope so. He is the speed and potentially separation guy.
You've got all the different gadget guys though on offense. You've got Heidenreich, you've got Nowakowski, you've got Weechan. You've got all these different players that all have maybe some special teams role, maybe some kind of specialist role within the offense where they're going to get on the field and do weird and wonderful things. And actually, I think it's more wide open. You've got a creative team of offensive minds there now. Maybe this is the year when someone that you don't really expect to make the roster actually does.
Yeah.
You've got, 6 in the running back room at the moment. You've got how many receivers? 3, 6, 9, 10, 12 receivers at the moment, plus a fullback. Something's got to give.
Well, I mean, what's going to give is a lot of this back end of the roster flop. But
I actually like Brandon Smith. I quite like him, and I quite like Max Hurleyman.
Well, I was going to say it might be Max Hurlman that he's really fending off if he makes any kind of surge in training camp to say, wait a minute, I'm more valuable than Roman Wilson. Why shouldn't I be here?
Isn't Max Hurleyman, and Hurleyman is a lacrosse guy, right? Isn't he quite similar to Eli Heidenreich? Like they've got all this overlap. They need to melt down 7 players and come out with one good one. I
don't think you can do that based on human rights.
I know that's the problem. If I was in charge, you would. So we're saying
this is why we unionize.
Let's
victory for the South.
Let's give a quick answer on that. Will Roman Wilson make the 53? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to say no.
Ooh, I'm saying yes.
I think he probably will, but something's going to happen.
I think he probably will, but I'm going to say no.
Jason says Wilson and Caleb Johnson to be shock cuts, and
I don't think Caleb Johnson's a shot.
Well, there's a good. We'll get onto that in a minute. Running back maybe coming up. And Rand said trade Roman Wilson to the Chargers. Obviously,
the Chargers are swimming in receivers, aren't they?
Former coach, though, the old Michigan connection. That's what that is.
Got you.
Right, so
and his friend 4D chess.
So throw a question at us then, whoever it is.
Is it me?
I know Gav's probably writing something down at you.
No, it's good. I can.
Go ahead.
Let's go defense. And this is a sad one. Don't really want to do it. Is TJ cooked?
Oh,
I know. I don't really want to go there. But
I don't have to answer this question.
What's his trade value right now? Second round? Like, should we prepare ourselves or even feel good about it? Like trading TJ to a contender to get him his ring if this season goes nowhere. He's entering his, this season, 36 career forced fumbles. Greg Lloyd's Steelers record is 37. So he just needs
Trade him to the Rams. Let them have Aaron Donald. Let them go absolutely mental.
That would be insane.
It's two more of those punch outs, and he's the all-time Steelers leader at that. I'd love to see that. That he deserves
He'll
that.
do that. He'll do that by week 3.
But is he?
And week 8's the trade deadline. There you go. Job done.
You were early on this, Kets. I got to give you credit. You were saying trade him, 2 years ago, was it? That off-season, before the season?
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at his age, and I knew we had to pay him, and I knew it would be like if not a market resetting value, near enough that. And you look at his contract now, and his contract is just not worth the money. I don't think even if he does 22 and a half sacks a season, or everyone in the real world knows it was 23. I think it was 23. Whatever the record was anyway that Garrett got the year after. That production has fallen, and it's not a surprise that it has fell because he was at his absolute zenith. So what happened was, it's kind of like a share price. We sold when it was like, or bought when it was right at the top of the market. And then since then it's fallen. So almost like you've kind of put yourself in a difficult position where you're never going to get that value back unless the share price rises again. But he's getting older. Is he going to be able to produce that level of production? He'd probably have to have the whole defense around him. Now, he might get a bit of a boost, from the new defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, because he might have some ideas about what to do. And I think that edge room is still solid, which is why I was looking at it going, actually, yeah, it wouldn't be the worst thing to trade him at this point 2 years ago. But it's almost like the horse has bolted now. So is it really worth trading TJ for a second round pick? Maybe if we're going to reset the roster. Is this team going to reset the roster? No, because Steelers are too stubborn to do that. And again, I was calling for that 2 years ago as part of a fundamental reset the roster kind of strategy. But all of that said, that's not a question for training camp. Will TJ play well? Yes. Will he play enough for 35 million or whatever he's on every year? I can't remember. I'll have a look on Spot Track as to what his contract is. But are we going to get value for money at that level out of TJ Watt, age 32, earning, I undershot it actually, it's 42 million a year. 42 million 26, 42 million 27, 46 million 28. And I hate myself for saying it because the first jersey I ever bought was a TJ Watt jersey. But you've got to look at the realities of the edge position, and age 31, 32, they do start to decline.
Why do I have to look
statistically?
At the realities?
Well, that's fine. Take TJ Watt to Narnia if you wish.
I am going on a crusade this year to end analytics in sport. Not just curtail it, end it. Because this is the issue I have, right? We made our bed with TJ, I think, right, already. In the
yes.
I think we knew that this was coming. Now, has it come maybe a little bit quicker than we'd hoped? I think yes, definitely. Yes. In this. And I would love nothing more, by the way, than for TJ to show up this year and just absolutely have another throwback season and blow up and have 20 sacks. And it's actually he just has been dealing with some niggling injuries, and yeah, he is getting older, but he's still TJ, and what that would be great. Is it going to happen? Probably not, but is there some hope? Maybe. But all this is to say, we knew that TJ was getting older. We knew what would happen when he got older, and we paid him anyway because he's like a Steelers legend and the best player we've had in the last decade. And I just think, at a certain point, as fans, we have to come back to the space where players are not stock. It doesn't really matter to me beyond whether or not the Steelers win games and win the championship. It does not really matter to me whether TJ Watt is getting paid $100,000 or $42 million. The relevance to me is to the success or otherwise of the Steelers organization. And obviously we're here to assess that, and Ketch, you're quite right that this has hamstrung us in some ways. But we knew we had to do this. I don't think it was on the cards to trade TJ at that time. We can probably look back and rub ourselves on the back and say, well, aren't we so smart that we knew that TJ was going to get old, and shock horror, he's shock Pikachu face, he's got older. But did we not know this was going to happen? Really? I feel like this was a deal that was paid because it had to happen. He was our best player, but I think we all knew when it was signed that this deal's probably going to look bad in 2 years.
Yeah. It was also done because we didn't have anyone else really to pay that level of money to.
Right.
Because the roster hasn't really had enough talent on it for the last 10 years.
That's the other thing. That's a great point, Kets. Yeah, that's the other point, is that you have to meet a minimum expenditure. And at that time, we had no one to pay.
They had to throw money at somebody. And I'm glad, TJ and his family have benefited from that. Don't get me wrong. But don't forget, I always look at football from a roster construction standpoint. And I'm looking at that going, that's not a great use of money. But then again, obviously, I'm not in the cap room. They probably did have to throw money at somebody. And you wouldn't want them paying a fourth string, running back or whatever. You want it to be a player that's on the team and plays every game, which TJ does.
I'm hoping there's a very good reason why TJ isn't cooked, because this guy, Terrell Austin, is gone. And this guy, Patrick Graham, is here in the building. And I think he's going to be much more inventive up front. There's going to be different blitz packages coming from different places. It's going to free up TJ. The problem is everyone knew they just had to double TJ. So he's been ineffective for the last 2-3 years. Maybe 2 years. 2 years. I don't think he's cooked. I just think he's not the talismanic, best player on the defense that he was. But I think he's still got a role. He's still got value. And as Reece says, leadership, intangibles in the locker room as well. There's a lot going on here. I don't think he's cooked. I just don't think he's gonna. I think he's still gonna have moments. He's still gonna have those freak interceptions. He's still gonna have those. Hopefully, have those punch outs. And he's still going to be a threat. And the backside pursuit, the run game stuff that I think is massively underrated part of his game. Yeah. He's not just a sack artist. He's not just, he's not Myles Garrett that can only get after the
He's a force, right? I mean, he's always been that. That's why teams double team him and run away from him, is because he's a noticeable force on the defense. That's why Reece should host this podcast instead of me. I mean, he's put that way better than I did. TJ's value is splash plays, mentality, leadership, etc. It's not 42 mil a year, but to say he's done, I don't know. And to reiterate that, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, is like, it's not, we've got this, we've run away with analytics to this point where now, like, players are literally just the value of the stats that they put up. But there is so much more to it than that. Like, intangibly, TJ Watt has tons of value. And I don't just mean like in the sense that like, oh, he's an old dude who's like a coach in the locker. I don't even mean that. I mean in literally the motivation and the energy and what he means to be on the field. It's like watch Argentina play with Messi, right? Like, I'm not
mention that
Messi. Yeah, I know. But like, there's a different level of energy because people are playing with an all-time great, right? Like, this is
exactly.
Yeah. On the flip side, he's not been the same since his pectoral injury. Putting it out there. But okay, let's put it down. Let's put it into black and white. Is TJ cooked? Simon?
Really? No.
Kets?
I think from a play standpoint, no. From a roster construction standpoint, 2 years ago, yes.
Can't write that in a box in a spreadsheet? Yes or no?
You're such a Gavin. I'm going to say no, he's not cooked. But I don't expect him to have a 20 sack season.
That's a but. He's just put a but in.
It's a caveat. I'm not putting a star next to it.
Right, okay, maybe.
Maybe. Do you actually want me to put maybe? I can put maybe in the box if you like.
Put maybe.
It's more of it says more about you than anything else.
Yeah, maybe's a damning indictment.
Yeah.
How dare I threaten the always correct spreadsheet?
It will be no.
It is always correct.
Put it on a list.
No, it'll just it'll be reverted to next year. We'll bring that up, and it'll be damning.
That's fine.
Damning. That guy.
My takes are always damning, and then 2 years later, you guys turn around and go, "Oh yeah, Kets was right about the wide receiver room. Kets was right about TJ Watt."
Kets was right about Kets was right about TJ maybe being cooked. You can't be right about a maybe. That's
Kets
never
was right about George Pickens to a certain extent.
All right, we can all go on about what we've got right.
Well, you do.
Thanks. I know. Well, that's all I got.
How is Gabriel Rubio? Is he going to make the team?
I think he will, yes. I think he will. Is that a question?
Is that a question for training camp?
Sod it.
Whose goes? That was me, so Simon. Or is it you, Kets? Who feels strongly? Who's got one?
Many,
Who's got one?
I've got loads. Kets, you want one?
Well, we've kind of gone more towards defense, so I will stick with defense. JPJ, are we going to pay the boy?
Yeah, that was one of mine as well. When will JPJ be paid? Will JPJ be
Yes.
paid?
Is it a training camp question?
I think it is.
I think so.
Yes,
Is he
it really
he
is,
gonna-
because if he isn't paid by the start of the season, that's a big uh-oh.
So is it not? I mean, when does training camp? It's not long, is it? But should it not be dealt with? I guess it could go into training camp. Yeah.
Well, I think to the point of the question, the fact that it's not been done already is kind of the question. Like, it's like, where is the raising concern with this? Because I think if you'd asked us 3 weeks ago, we were all very comfortable this was definitely going to get done. We've seen other guys get done, I think, which is the thing in the interim. And not only that, but there's other cornerbacks from his draft class that are getting paid big deals ahead of him, which are going to complicate the deal with JPJ, because those players are viewed as potentially higher. Like, I'm talking about what's the guy in for the Patriots?
Gonzalez.
He just got paid, right? Or he's about to. Who's the other guy who just got paid in the cornerback market off his rookie deal this offseason? I need to look up.
From a timing standpoint, though, I think sometimes it is natural that the players do genuinely go away on holiday for a month and then come back and it's full on until kind of January, February. So it might be that this was always the plan. But I guess the trouble is we're all sat there with no NFL news going, oh, what about JPJ? He's not been paid yet. That's really bad. And obviously he's unrestricted free agent next year if we don't pay him. So yeah, it is something that needs sorting, especially given the kind of promise that he's shown so far.
Be the dumbest thing ever if
career.
they don't pay him. It's the first cornerback they've drafted since Ike Taylor that's been any good. So they'd be stupid as all hell to not pay the 25-year-old, lock him up, make him one of the cornerstones. It kind of, I think, yes, they are going to pay him, but I've got a secondary question, which is the secondary going to be organised? Now, why that's important? I want that secondary to be communicating and be organised very quickly, because then that will allow Ramsey to freelance. And I think they need to unleash him as a weapon. I mean, you've seen this Steelers defense when it's had freelancing players, be it Polamalu or Rod Woodson or whatever. You've got the skillful dudes there in the back. You want to let them play. And so for them to play...
Fitzpatrick did that.
Fitzpatrick too. There needs to be... The rest of the team needs to be like the Washington Generals, just doing their part, right? And covering up where that guy, your skill player, isn't. So to unleash the weapon, we need to see signs of communication.
Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
I think Patrick Graham will have this absolutely nailed. I think the team will look as good as a Tomlin defense at the height of its power. I think you've got a lot of professionals in there. You've got Brisker, Jamal Dean, Darnell Savage, Asante Samuel. They're all guys that have been there, know what they're doing. JPJ, Deshaun Elliott. You've then got the two kind of promising rookies, Dalen Everett and Robert Spears-Jennings. As mentioned, you've got Ramsey. Also, you've got Brandon Eccles. You've got a lot of guys there that have either done well over the last couple of seasons. You've got Castro and Kent around the bottom end of that kind of secondary room as well. You've got guys there that have shown promise. You've got some veteran guys in there. You've got some guys that will be able to take on board a new scheme. And I think actually you've added speed as well. So hopefully the back end of that defensive roster is actually looking pretty good. So yeah, you combine that with the edge room that's good. Cam Hayward's come back for another season, obviously. So the front of that defense that's had a lot of investment, Derek Harmon, Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward, Yaya Black.
Don't forget Everett.
On paper, that defense could be really good.
Yeah. Brisker as well as another freelancer. So it's just that's the thing. You've got a few players, Spears-Jennings, you've got Deshaun Elliott. He's not averse to a bit of freelancing. So it's just, we've got a lot of players that can make a lot of plays, but just can they play as a unit? That's my question. Reese says, could the lack of a JPJ deal be until Graham has trust in him to work in his scheme? Perhaps, but I think I think the general manager will want to tie up one of his better draft picks.
Yeah.
I think that's a case
It's an
of
Omar Khan question. Yeah.
I think that's a case of make him work in your scheme, not the other way around, or make your scheme
one
work
of-
for him rather.
Hey,
One
shout-
of Mark's questions as well. JPJ versus Metcalf, who will win the inevitable training camp battles?
No, I reckon we see them splitting.
JPJ, lockdown.
Okay,
I think that'd be
JPJ.
fun to watch.
JPJ.
I'm lost in what question we're answering. I feel like maybe 3 questions have been asked since the last time I answered a question.
Yeah, this is a secondary kind of thing. JPJ versus
We've gone down
DK.
3 tangents. I'm like lost in the chain of questions.
We're throwing blitzes at you, Si, left, right, and centre. You've got to pick up which blitz is coming at you. Get your O-line shifted across.
JPJ versus DK. I've got split 50-50. You've got JPJ.
I agree.
How are we going to answer this?
What have you got?
Okay, JPJ.
Kets? You've got JPJ.
I've got a split as well.
You
I
got
think it'll be really competitive.
Okay. Rand says the Graham system requires very intelligent players that read the game very well, not just players that fit the scheme. Right. Well, let's hope that's what we've got.
Yeah. Good. I want intelligent defensive schemes.
JPJ, are we going to pay him? Who posts that one?
Yes. Me, I think.
Yes.
Kets. Yes.
I think he'll be paid by the end of training camp, which is the question that needs answering in training camp.
Yes.
Right. Does Aaron look at young wide receivers? Was a question.
Yes.
We all said yes, right? Sorry, just for completion's sake, didn't.
Is he going to make one of those little connect? Are we going to be talking about it out of training camp that him and Jeremy Bernard have like been hooking up?
Right.
That's exactly what I hope.
Has he gone into a dark cave with one of these young boys? Is the secondary organised? Was my question. In training camp.
Yeah.
Although, will we see it in training camp necessarily? We won't see it in the games, but hopefully we see it in training camp.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's something that will come alive.
Didn't you raise this up and then go, this is why I've asked this question, because it's going to be so great that the secondary under... Did you do this
No,
whole
I didn't
thing?
say that about Patrick Graham. I didn't. I said more about
maybe
the
that was
front.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's that.
but I think it will get organised as the season goes on. But I think they've got too many playmakers at the moment and not enough just boring squad players.
2 very important points that we've learned over the years on this podcast. Number 1, don't believe the hype. Number 2 is don't forget this is all going to be Vanilla, not Aston Villa.
It's all going to be Villa.
It's
So
all
it's going to be vanilla
Villa,
offense, defense. They're not.
Villa.
I hate myself.
Villa.
Isn't that the Kings team?
Villa.
Or is that Prince William's team? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it is the
royal team.
No, it's not the king. The royal prince.
For any Americans listening, that's Aston Villa. It's a football team. Google it.
Round ball football. What was the question? What team does the Kings support?
Will Aston Villa finish in the top 10?
Will the Aston Villa defensive scheme be... I've choked on it. Really. No, just remember the scheme, offense and defense, will be somewhat vanilla. So you're not necessarily going to see too much trickeration. And I agree with Jason saying,
Well, yeah, he's a proper Brummie,
to
so
the vanilla comments.
presumably not a Villa fan.
Stop.
Is the secondary going to be organised? Sorry, just get completion for that.
Yes.
Kets?
I don't really know how I'll know that.
I don't know either. It's a tough one. I just want to get the box filled and we can move on.
You know what? Gav would be great if he worked at the DMV.
Yes.
He doesn't
Did
question
you
why he's
crash
doing
your car
anything.
on Tuesday? Yes. Right.
I just need to fill the box and move on. What did you have for breakfast today?
Rice
Wheat
Krispies.
snacks. Wheat snacks.
I've told you
for
Oh, go on, say it again.
Just trying to drop in these sounds.
Do it.
Trying to create opportunities.
wheat snacks.
Nice.
Wheat snacks for milk. Corn-based flake.
Oh, I have an Iowa update. Not for today, but for a future
right,
Iowa
okay.
episode.
I told you my Wayne Rooney story before, didn't I?
I don't know. Did you?
So I did
Hey,
a
Wayne
thing-
Rooney's been good as an analyst this World Cup, so maybe tell it again.
Well, this was about 15 years ago. I was doing a thing for EA, and the standard thing is you ask people what you had for breakfast because it's a non-evasive, non-offensive question that someone can usually answer, right? So I put a mic on Wayne and I go, could you just, the sound man wants to hear your level. What do you have for breakfast? And he went, Cocoa Pops. I went, I need a bit more. Need a bit more, Wayne. What would you have it with? He went, milk. Literally, I looked round. I was trying not to laugh in his face, right? Because I'm stood right. So I looked round, and literally
that's great.
everyone is wetting themselves. I was like, oh, okay, thanks, Wayne, superhero, footballer. Cool.
Which training camp question does that answer, though?
I'm sorry, that was a boring one of my anecdotes. Right,
I
whose
loved it. I appreciate
question is next?
Oh. Why was that for EA? Who were you interviewing? Why were you interviewing Wayne Rooney for EA?
It was launch of one of the FIFA games. It's a long time ago. Now.
Wow. Yeah,
we
went
went
up
to.
story in a
I think I went up to
FIFA 94.
Liverpool. I think we were at Everton ground.
Yeah,
something like
that
that.
makes
Can't
sense.
remember.
Old ground.
Oh.
Old ground, yeah. Goodson Park, right?
You posh twats.
Thank you. Right.
All right, is it my go?
Idea.
Yeah, let's go, Si. You
Yes.
go. Take
I'll
this
throw
one.
out a question. Okay. Okay, here's a good one. Will Caden Wetjen have a big return moment in the preseason?
In the training
Yes.
camp or in the season?
In the preseason, before, so during training camp, or during the preseason.
Mm.
Before, so basically, to get us onto this like train of we should be excited about this guy as a real weapon in the return game, is we going to see something in the preseason?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
So I'm assuming this would be either option one, return touchdown during one of the preseason games, and/or any other kind of special teams. Return.
Yeah, I would say it's more like, as opposed to being like definitively he does or does not score a touchdown, it's more like, are we coming out saying like, wow, he's clearly flashed as like he's pulled off a couple nice, maybe he's not obviously pipe one, but
50-yarder or something.
right, yeah,
I
he's
just
clearly
think
shown.
a display of the movement skills that he so obviously has.
He's not
Yeah.
just going down on after 5-yard gains in each return, basically.
Yes,
Just to be careful with
definitely going to see some Wheatgen smoke in this preseason.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was going to say option B would be like a Twitter, other social media platforms are available kind of clip where everyone goes, oh my God, look at this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. This whole exercise actually is just an opportunity to gas the team up. Maybe this is why we feel so positively about the team, just to be let down at the start of the season, because we spend the whole off season doing this.
Option one,
I
don't
don't know.
believe the
So
hype.
we can be pretty negative at times. So are we all agreed yes on that one? Quick fire one? Don't think there's much
Yes.
to add.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Ketch, you got one?
He's corn-fed, don't forget. One that Mark and I had, similar question between us. My question was, how many rookies make the 53? And Mark's question, which is kind of similar, which rookie shines the brightest?
Oh, I just like which rookie shines the brightest?
Shine bright like a diamond.
Well, first of all, how many make the team? Let's think. So
Before we do that, who's your
Yeah.
favourite rookie at the moment? I know, is it Bernard for you, Ketch?
From a play standpoint, I would say Bernard. From a vibe standpoint, Jennings Dunker, and has been for months.
Right.
I think
He's
that's
just a
probably
cool
fair.
dude.
So again,
But shout out Dalen Everett, who I think again is going
Mm.
underrated, and I think might be the best guy
Yeah.
to come from it.
this draft class has really grown on me since doing all these videos. Check out the UK Steelers YouTube channel for the videos, the post-draft reports. You'll get our thoughts there. But all of them, at times in the draft, I was kind of like, nah, they're okay. No, I love this draft now. I love it. And for me, it's Nowakowski. I'm most excited about Nowakowski.
Wow. Okay. I'm counting them, and I'm getting to 9. I think. Is there any advance on 9?
So we've got Bernard, Nowakowski, Wheatgen, Dunker, Ihanacho, Alla, Heidenreich. That's 7 on offense. And then
I didn't even include Allah because he's going to be on IR with a finger injury.
Everett, Spears, Jennings, and then Rubio. That's 10. I think they all make it. 10. Yeah, I think 10. But yes, Alla somehow manages to find his way onto IR magically.
I'll say 9 because I wasn't even including Rubio, and I was including someone else. I think.
I don't think they'll all make the 53. I think they'll all work their way back on practice squad at the very least. But I think someone will be unfortunately cut and then hired back within 20 minutes because that always happens.
Okay, so who do we think that is? Heidenreich?
I was thinking maybe Heidenreich, maybe Rubio, because he's a kind of a bottom of the roster guy that nobody else is going to. It's only the Steelers that want him for his measurables and stuff, isn't it? So, maybe someone like a Nowakowski might fall and then get quickly taken back up.
There's no way
who else did we
Nowakowski's
draft
not on
late?
this roster.
Spears,
I'm
Jennings.
sorry. There's no other
Yeah.
fullback in sight. There's no beef in this
No.
running back room. They need something.
I do think your options are Rubio, Spears, Jennings, if that safety battle doesn't go as we expect, and Drew Aller ended up somewhere.
Yeah.
And Eli
And
Heidenreich.
Heidenreich, yeah.
I hate you, Si, because every time I was cutting that video, the Heidenreich video, every time his name was mentioned, I heard Heidenreich. Or was that Mark? Who was that did that damn thing?
Heidenreich.
It's damn
It's
annoying.
classic.
So good.
Heidenreich.
Heidenreich. Whoa, nearly
If
cut
he
the stream.
doesn't, if he
was
doesn't
close.
make it as a footballer, he should start a metal band because I would go and see them. Be awesome. Imagine the pits at a Heidenreich gig. Wow, get ready. Put your shoulder pads on for that.
Right. Who posed that? How many rookies make the 53? Was that you, Si, or was that
me.
Mark? Oh, Ketz.
Mark.
Me and Mark. Mark prosed. Which rookie shines the brightest?
Oh, yeah. We'll come back to that. Right.
Dale Everett.
So I'm going to say all 10 make it. What, make the 53 or make the roster? That's a different question.
Isn't there 11?
Mate, the 53 was the question.
53. Ooh, okay. That's a different question. Is there 11?
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I don't
5,
know, they're all
6,
in
7,
different spots on our lads.
8, 9, 10. I've got.
Regions on both offense and special teams on our lads.
Make the 53. Yeah, I'm going to say Heidenreich doesn't. So that's 10. No, 9. And I'm going to say Drew Aller ends up on IR. So that's 8. So I'm going to say 8.
Wait, now he's on less than me.
Yeah, so I didn't realize we were talking 53. I thought we were making practice squads here.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I'm going to go 8.
But
I
then
think
what about
7 make the
undrafted? There might be an undrafted guy.
Nah.
This is true.
Nah.
Who?
Greg Crippen,
Jobbity Jr.
Devon
Why
Boykin.
the laugh? I thought Jobbity Jr. might be the guy.
Could
Paid
be.
him a
It's
big
just, I
signing
just
bonus.
can't get over his name. I hope he makes it just for Jobbity Jr. But
Jobbity Jr. He's doing a Jobbity Jr. to make the roster. I'll say 8 then. Okay, I was going to say 9, but no, you've gone lower than me, which I don't like.
no, just stick to your guns, man. You don't have to go because I'm scaring you.
Well, no, but you were on 10, and I thought that we were going to keep one less than you, and then you suddenly disappeared to 8, which has thrown me off a bit.
Yeah, I misunderstood the question. Ketz?
I'm going to go 7.
Ah, he's done it. See, if you take a 9,
No, I'll say 9. I'll say 9.
overs.
All right, I'll say 9. Yeah, I'll take 9. I'll take.
Now,
Yeah,
now I'm in no man's land. And then which rookie shines?
Dale Everett. Put me down.
Jeremy Bernard.
Sorry, just spreadsheeting. I'm going to say. So wait, Simon said Everett.
Dale Everett. Don't worry. I can always just let me know if you need some vamp time because I've got an ocean of new sound drops to explore.
We've done 3,000 hours of vamping at this
Yeah,
point.
it's all right. The whole thing's a big vamp. And I'm going to say Wheatgen
Oh,
Wow.
sneaky
like
the
it.
Wheatgen
for
back in.
immediate excitement value.
Hmm.
Because there's kickoff returns in every game. Was that Mark? Do it again. That's a good laugh.
Don't forget the mark. Who is it? What is it? Who-
Always.
My tongue hurts. Leave me alone.
Wrong one.
Come on then.
I
Where
think
are you
it
going
was
to
the
go? Where are you
wrong
going to go? You're not going to go anywhere. I've got you.
Just
That's what
feeling myself
Wheatgen
now.
is going to. That's what Wheatgen is going to say to everyone he faces this year.
literally. That's what his ankles are saying. Right. Who goes in now? All right, it's my go.
Go.
I want to go to. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Actually, hang on.
Yes, Queen.
Does Queen look like the quarterback of the D? So this has got to be a big season for Patrick Green, right?
Yes.
Green dot dude, communication, quarterback in the defense. There's been some questions. I mean, I've liked what he's done, but a lot of people haven't. He's only 26. Like this should
17 million a year.
this should
contract
be
season.
this should be the captain of the defense. This is, a new defense with a new defensive coordinator that hopefully is going to come up with some interesting stuff going around the rest of the team, and hopefully it becomes a sort of island of Patrick Queen of safety in the middle where Peyton Wilson's coming in, and like who knows what's his name, the injured dude whose name has flipped my brain quickly, Cole Holcomb. Hopefully he can come back and make some kind of impact. Malik Harrison can blitz, but Patrick Queen needs to be that rock in the center of the defense. So does he look like the quarterback of the defense this year in training camp?
I again feel like these are season questions, not training camp questions.
No, it's a training camp question. He needs to come back. He needs to hit the ground running straight away. There can be no Queen's gone missing, Queen's disappeared in preseason. It needs to be this is Queen coming in, taking command, like Carson Wentz.
Well, I'm sure that in training camp it'll all sound like he has done, but it won't matter until week one when he, is missing tackles. I've been critical of Patrick Queen, and then he comes back and he has a few good games, and then he looks a bit dodgy. At the end of the day, is he a consistent, as you say, quarterback of the defense? He hasn't been in his first 2 seasons, in my opinion.
Queen needs to play like a king. There's your soundbite.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but
I worry about the depth if he's not there. I'm actually looking at the linebacker room overall and going, geez, we probably need to spend a day 1 or 2 pick on that next year. Looking at it.
I don't know, man. If Cole
it's a
Holcomb
bit thin.
really can come back, then they've got. I still think this is a strong group.
are
I think
we
Malik
hopeful
Harrison.
on that?
No, I think it's 50-50. Malik Harrison's disappointed so far, but I've got high hopes for him. I think he can be a force. We talked about it earlier. Did he replace Landon Roberts? No, but can he? Yes, with a new scheme with Patrick Graham, maybe he can find some more looks. Peyton Wilson is a phenom. Slightly narrow in his kind of linebacker profile. Going forwards, going backwards, great. Going side to side, not so much. Jamin Davis was a first-round pick, athletic. There's potential there. Carson Bruner showing some things on special teams, could come in and be a sort of solid kind of blue collar kind of dude. So I think this is a great room, Kets. You down on this room?
It's a team. It's a room that I would like to see a lot of growth from. Like you can certainly project it a certain way, but yeah, I'm with Kets to be honest. I don't think it's very exciting. I don't know.
Again, maybe it's just me being too early and saying, I'm not sure. I just don't know about the depth. And again, also don't know much about Graham's scheme, but it's talking here about split safety, 2 high shells, light boxes, fewer than 7 defenders near the line, and aggressive 7-man max blitzes. So it's saying about needs linebackers to be exceptional communicators, disciplined in run fits against inside gaps, versatile enough to play both the run and pass in lateral space-heavy roles. Does that fit?
Doesn't
Queen's
sound like
skill
that.
set?
It doesn't sound like Queen or Peyton Wilson to me. I've got to be honest. That scares me. What you just
So
described sounds like the definition of what this team can't do.
Other teams' linebackers.
Yeah. So are we maybe trade candidates to take a linebacker, or are we potentially taking one early in next year's draft?
I think we
Few
wait.
Mark watching 20 linebackers.
I think we wait and see who Queen becomes in this defense before we move on.
And Wilson. I think they really are keen on developing Wilson into a starting role like that.
He maybe needs to.
Mark
Interesting.
saying we should have picked one up in the draft and also buy because he's knackered. Where were your previous questions, Mark? If you're knackered now, and
Hey,
you've been
Mark,
here the
if
whole
you're
time.
still here, you need to be here.
You slap your ass in front of kids these days and they have no idea what you're doing.
Was that in last week's show? Jesus.
That's the price.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Play that in 3 months' time. I'll have no idea of the context and not be able to make Mark dig him out of a hole there.
Does Queen look like? Does Queen look like the quarterback of the defense? I'm going to say yes. I've got faith. I think he's going to come out
I've been
looking like the
positive
rock.
about everything else. But no.
I'm going to say no. I've scared myself with that analysis of the Patrick Graham Ran, excellent. Just who I was hoping would answer that question. Oh, he's asked a question. I thought he was going to answer the Patrick Graham schematic question. Ran has asked, do you think there is enough time to implement a completely new O and D in preseason, especially with so many institutionalized players?
Let's hope so.
Institutionalized players.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, we're all institutionalized. We are. I'm going to come back to this kind of question later, but we are the fan base, the media, ownership,
Yeah, probably.
the team, everyone is. We've had 22 years of this shit, and it's time for a change.
So the Steelers are Shawshank Redemption. Mike Tomlin is the parole guy, and we're all the guy that looked after the bird.
Yeah,
What was
the
his
guy
name?
that hung himself.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say that just in case anyone hadn't seen Shawshank, but there you go.
I think
Oh,
the
sorry. Spoilers
moratorium
of
on
a film
talking.
how many years old?
The moratorium on the
Spoilers.
spoilers of Shawshank's over. Like,
1994 film.
it's not even that good. Like everyone goes on about how great it is. Yeah,
Whoa!
it's all right. It's fine. It's good. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
a classic.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a classic. But it's not
Victory
like
for the South.
everyone that says, "Oh, it's the best movie ever made." Nah, you just you haven't got anything better to say.
I'm not arguing it's
Wow.
the best movie ever made, but I think it is a movie that deserves to be in that conversation where when people talk about what's the best movie ever made, it gets brought up.
It's
You
a
know?
definitive movie Hall of Famer.
Yeah, exactly.
No question. First ballot. Don't even think about it. Just tick
What's-
the box and move
what's
on like
better?
you would do with the.
Shawshank or Green Mile?
Oh, Shawshank's better than Green Mile.
yeah.
Mark's
Ooh,
put
Chloe
Matt
would disagree.
Canada is the sewer system. Nice. So we crawled through that to escape. Yes, I suppose we did into a world of shit. Yeah, I suppose that's right. Reese has put Marshall, was here.
Classic.
Nice.
Very good.
And shout out
I love
Reese.
our audience.
Shout out Reese, our newest Patreon producer. God bless.
Oh, thanks, Reese. Didn't realize I missed you in the Patreon
Oh,
rundown.
what a guy.
That he wasn't in it. Sorry, because I hadn't seen it. It was newer than that.
Oh wow, thanks, Reese.
Jason just
Jason,
Jason,
yeah.
Psy-up says it's no aliens.
No. long time listeners may remember that Aliens is overrated.
Aliens beef.
What other Hall of Fame? Sorry, just taking this down a rabbit hole now. Shawshank, Green Mile. Are there any other first ballot Hall of Fame movies that are based on kind of prison and or the legal
prison.
system?
Oh,
Just any kind of crime, legal.
I was going to say
Courtroom.
Seven,
Crime.
but that's not really.
You're expanding. Crime legal is different.
Okay, sorry. Well,
Prison.
categorize me. Prison, specifically prison.
Shutter Island.
Is that a prison movie? I suppose it is.
Kind of.
Mark's saying he's going to bed, but he's still clearly commenting. Shining,
Shining
Green
over
Mile,
Green
Shawshank.
Mile.
Now, I think the most,
Shining is
I
the
believe,
best of those three films.
most accurate UK prison movie is Starred Up. That's a good film.
Oh, you've just hit on something. I can't believe I didn't bring this up immediately. A new movie came out at the start of this year that me and Chloe went to see that's actually about a UK prison. And it was great. What was it called? It was called... Hold on. Vamping. It was called Waste Man. And it had the guy, to tie this around, it had the guy from the new Aliens, Alien Romulus, David Johnson, who is the best young British actor. Full stop. He's so good. I would be shocked if he does not become the next big star because he's insane. He's like that good of an actor. So, Waste Man. If you want to check out a good prison movie, there you go.
Jason brings up Midnight Express, another good prison movie. Ooh, Rand says Shutter Island is a complete rip-off of the Ninth Configuration.
I haven't seen the Ninth Configuration. What's the Ninth Configuration? Yeah, that's the film there. Waste Man. Yeah, good pull. What's the Ninth Configuration? I'm getting blank faces from my comrades, so
Sorry,
at least it's
taking
not
this
just
down
me.
there.
It's not just me.
Now,
just
knowing
Joe.
Rand, it's a 70s movie. Ooh, it's close. Because both me and Rand agree that 70s was the best decade of films. 1980, yeah, so it falls within that. Haven't seen it, Rand. I will. Based on
Hang on,
your...
1980 doesn't fall within the 70s.
Nah, it's close enough. Come on.
1980, the famous year of the 70s.
Well, you know, it's close. It's
Flag-
right there or
flag on the plate
thereabouts.
there, gentlemen.
Come on. Right, where were we? Whose question is next?
As does.
I was going to take us back to
Go.
offense and talk about, will Pat Frymouth finally show his kind of potential and become the tight end one that this team always wanted him to be, and not just be a Heath Miller-esque chant replacement.
Smooth.
Exactly.
Again, this is a season question, not a training camp question. Just checking the watch.
Yeah, that's true. But we can see the early signs of it, I suppose. No.
So famously numbered in the 70s, Pat Frymuth wears 88.
But I'd argue with your example and your logic that would be the 90s there. But okay, nice
Of course it
overshoot.
would.
Nice overshoot. I'm going to say
Sorry, that was a
no.
bad
I don't think. I think Frymuth isn't it. He's not the one. I don't think he ever was the one. I said that in the
Kind
draft
of agreed
coverage.
for the last few years.
I said that in the draft coverage. I got much heat for it. He's had a couple of good seasons with some connections with Ben, but it's not happened. So I don't see
the thing is
why
now-
we believe it's going to change.
The middle of the field excuse is no longer, right? We've not got Tomlin anymore. We've not got, going back to the Waste Man film, we've got a proper coach now who will be a bit more exciting on offense. So it's now or never for Pat Frymuth, I think.
I'm going to pivot on this and say this is the year. This is the year that we see Pat Frymuth. Because the thing is, we've seen the games. We've seen the receptions. We've seen the play. We just have seen him go missing for 3 or 4 games at a time and just not be involved. And so I think if we can, if he can become a focal point of the offense in training camp, so I guess that's why it's a training camp question.
Thank you.
Gain
No
some
further questions.
favor. You can gain some favor in the offensive sort of game plan. Then I'm going to say, I'm going to put down the stamp on an old favorite, Pat Frymuth. Speaking of jerseys, that's the jersey I wear the most. Is my Frymuth jersey. So
Okay.
I'm going to say
well,
yes.
we've got him for another 3 seasons, so 26, 27, 28, and he's a free agent in 29. So we've kind of got to make him work in a way. Paying him 14 million in 27 and 12 million in 28. So
Is
yeah,
it?
let's hope he does come good.
Is he a victim of
Improves Gavron.
being kind of good at a few things, but not being really great at anything?
Isn't that what you want in a tight end? Though?
Maybe, but it's kind of he's not that great at blocking. He's pretty good at
That's
finding
maybe
space, but when he does catch the ball, he's just to catch it and fall down, and he's not got any yak ability.
Not a
has
catch
he?
it and fall
He
down.
can't
No, I
make.
don't know
Does
if
he
I
make
agree with
people
that.
miss? What do you?
No, he doesn't make people miss. No, he's not. But he is.
He's not Darnell. He's not power. I don't see that he's anything other than catch it and fall down. I mean, he doesn't get yards after contact. Doesn't make people miss. Doesn't put his head down and drive through. What is
No,
he?
but he does find he finds gaps in the zone.
Yes, that's
well.
what he does.
He's
He finds holes.
He's your safety blanket, which is what a normal, competent offense needs. Just a guy that runs 6 yards, turns around, and stands uncovered within about 10 yards of space. You know what I mean?
And there's Kenny
let the
Gainwell in a
receivers-
better position, and he gets more yak. So you pass to him. So Pat Frymuth gets overlooked. So therefore, and Darnell, he catches the ball and powers through some people. Maybe Darnell isn't as good as getting open, but when he's got the ball, he's a damn threat. Frymuth, what does he
I
do?
completely disagree. I'm sorry. I got to be honest. I disagree with this. Pat Frymuth's more of a threat with the ball in his hands than Darnell Washington is. I know that's not sexy to say because Darnell Washington's like, look at
I
him.
disagree with that.
But Darnell Washington, frankly, in terms, think about how much effort it is for Darnell Washington to move 20 yards down the field.
It's
doesn't
a
happen.
lot of effort, but he knocks dudes out of the way.
Yeah, I know he could, but unfortunately, and look, I'm not. This is not a knock. I love Darnell Washington, but just the style of plays that they are. If I'm talking about, like, if you want to hit a guy in stride, running down the seam, that's Pat Frymuth. You'd rather hit him because he's got a bit. He's a more well-rounded athlete in that way. Now, Darnell Washington's a freak. He's a better athlete, but like, he's not. He's obviously, because he's 315 pounds. He's like a lumbering guy. Like, you would rather get Pat Frymuth on some of these quick snap routes, these quick tight end slants, I guess you'd call them, or like these like just post routes. You'd rather hit like Frymuth on those, right? With the ball in his hands. Now, obviously, if you're going to hit like a big body jumper, or you want to hit someone on a short yardage route who's then going to trample over 3 guys because he's got the momentum, then yeah, Darnell Washington. But I think these guys complement each other. I don't understand why there's this sudden like desire to be like, we got to throw one of these guys off the roster to get a tight end one. Like, these guys do what the other one doesn't do that well.
And I think McCarthy's got good track record with tight ends, right? You look at the guys he's had in Green Bay and Dallas, and he's had decent tight ends. They might not have done, 1,000 yards a season, but if they do 600-700 yards a season, or do 100 completions over the course of the year, keep the chains moving, That's what we need to do, is keep the chains moving. That's what we've struggled with for the last 6 years.
And I think both of these guys should be absolute weapons in that sense. I mean, what's the tight end in Dallas called? You can tell. This is what I hate about the offseason. Yeah, Ferguson. I hate the offseason because you can tell that like the break, like just hearing names a lot from watching games and stuff, like it just erodes.
Yeah, it's not
so
there,
you can't
yeah.
remember these names.
So Pat's got.
Sorry, just 1 second. He's way better than him. I'm sorry, he's better. than
I
Jim
don't know.
Ferguson.
I don't know. He's more of a better blocking tight end. He's more of a seam threat. Frymouth isn't really that much of a seam threat. That's the problem.
He's a massive seam threat. We just haven't been getting him the ball. Every time he catches the ball in stride in the seam, this is kind of what I'm saying about
20
you
yards.
saying like he's gone. He's like absolutely, and he has the strength that he's not Daniel Washington, but in the way that like picture that play that Nick Vanette had, right, where it's like the absolute stiff. He can do that kind of stuff and like run with a guy, and he's got the pace to do it. Like I'd rather have the ball in Frymouth's hands, frankly, to be honest. I know it doesn't look as cool, but like in terms of like picking up the most yards, I don't know.
It's just I don't think Tomlin threw there.
4.8 yards after catch. on
Tomlin
average.
definitely didn't throw the
Yards after contact last season, 4.8 yards. He's got.
But he's only ever
average
operated in a
4.7.
Tomlin offense.
4.7 yards over his whole career. I mean, that's catch it.
What's Daniel Washington averaging?
All right, I'll tell you.
This is where it's
Give me
about
a
8.
second.
It's probably is really. It's probably not. It's probably like 11.
You're gonna have to play
Fascinating
some
discussion, though.
sound drops.
Probably a lot less. Probably a lot less sample size, to be honest, for Daniel Washington as well in terms of catches. So I don't know if that impacts it.
How much was the plum? Was it? Yes, that's a great question. Questions for training camp. When the fruit is served, how much was the plum? Was it £4,000?
This is what I like. Not only am I under pressure from getting the answer, I'm also under pressure that's on the stream and people are watching me. This is what I enjoy. Really adds to the fun.
Yards of reception in college in Penn State, 2018 to 2020. Pat Frymouth, 12.9 yards per reception.
Darnell Washington was 7.3 last year. 7.3 yards per reception after contact.
Okay.
All right. Oh, wait, sorry. Were both of these numbers after contact?
Yeah, yards after contact per reception average on the
okay.
season.
All right, that's good. No, that is good data. So what was it again? So
Darnell was 7.3 and Pat was 4.7 on his entire career. It was 4.8 last year. He's been consistent. So he's just not
can you go through?
Go on.
Sorry, have you lost that page of Frymouth?
I can find it. No, go on.
What does he look like through his career? Has it always been that? Has he had any seasons of like outliers where it's been higher?
Hold on. Yeah, I did notice that. He had a game of 31, but that's just one catch, right?
One game.
So
because I both remember Pat Frymouth getting a lot of balls where he's faced towards the quarterback, but then I remember a lot of ball when he's catching it in stride. He's very athletic, so it's like I don't know.
So you can see here. Don't do that with my mouse. Hang on, where are you? I've lost
Don't
you.
do that with my mouse.
Here we are. So you can see here his rookie season was 6.3 yards after contact. Yards after contact per reception, 6.3, and then it's been in the fours every year since. Sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry, it was 6.3 last year. So last year was good. 2025, 6.3, and then it's been his first year was 4.2, and then it's been around in the fours.
But he's had so many junk offensive coordinators. He's had nothing to work with, really. He's not had a quarterback properly until last year. And even then, the scheme is questionable. I don't know. I think it's so hard to judge all of these Steelers offensive players over the last few years because they've just not been put in a position to succeed.
It's just a bit soggy for me.
Yeah.
It's just a bit soggy. Jason put hashtag takes down signed frame shirt, presumably of Frymouth. Well, I bought a Frymouth Penn State jersey as an apology. Do I need to send that back to DHgate?
Hang on, you bought a fake jersey as an apology?
Yeah, I'm not spending 170 quid on a real one. Come on. So Ketz, will Pat come good? Yes or no?
I think he will under this new offensive scheme.
Okay. All right, I think it's back round to me.
It wasn't £500.
It wasn't £500. All right, I've got two more questions. The last one's a good one. Here's another one. Is there enough?
The last one's a good one, so this is going to be a bad one.
It's not a bad one. It's just a one.
It's just a question.
Is there
the
enough
one.
beef in the running back room?
Oh,
Well, we've got some plums.
Go.
We've got Jalen Warren,
How much
215.
was the plum?
We've got Jalen Warren, 215 pounds. Rico Dowdle, 215 pounds. Eli Heidenreich, 206 pounds. Now here come the heavyweights, the cavalry at the goal line. Caleb Johnson, 224 pounds. Nichols, 220 pounds. Let me just remind you of some previous backs, just to give you some context. Lev Bell, 1 pound heavier than any of these backs, at 225 pounds. And we didn't even really think of him as like a goal line pounder, right? Najee Harris, 242 pounds. So he's got like 18 pounds on Caleb Johnson and well over 20 on most of the rest of these cats. And Jerome Bettis, obviously 252 pounds. All right, he was a unique guy. But who's toting the rock at the line if we need to punch one in from 2 yards in? Like, what the hell's going on here? What's this running back room made of? Like, where's the beef?
I think you answered this question earlier with Nowakowski potentially.
Right, and that's why I love
Or-
Nowakowski.
Just give it to Darnell Washington. Let him run at people.
It's going to work
Next
once or
question.
twice, but, you know,
Don't overthink it.
you get into third and short, fourth and short quite a lot. That's quite a common situation. You're not going to give it to Washington every time. Not going to give it to Nowakowski every time. I feel this is a roster construction
threat
problem.
Well, yes. I think the threat of doing that, though, is that then everyone's expecting that, and then you do some trickeration with one of the aforementioned 5 rookies that can do weird and wonderful things.
Sometimes you just got to run the ball up the gut, and you need a guy that's just going to hurt some people when he hits them. That guy isn't on the roster.
Just get Aaron Rodgers to point, and then the ball goes forwards 3 yards. That's how it works.
All right, so you're
We
saying
learned that last year.
we're tush push. This like Dowdle. All right, I'm famously down on Dowdle, but
for unclear reasons, by the way.
just I just don't see the value. Like, yes, he out yarded Warren last year, or whatever. I don't see why you have a duplicate player.
Well, no, I agree with that. Yeah, it's not so much. Yeah, I'm not down on the player, but I agree with like it being a bit of a head scratching move in terms of like partnering him with Warren.
It's not. I don't think it was a Omar Khan move. It was a Mike McCarthy move, right? So it's like, I like this running back. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
It's not the way to build a team. They could have gone out and got Chris Rodriguez or some other dude. They just need a heavyweight, right? They don't need Dowdle. Why do they need Dowdle? Like, Warren's good. Like, let's just play Warren and let's have a guy backing him up that can tote the rock. And then let's see what Caleb Johnson's got. Like, why do we need Dowdle?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, I don't. Like I said, I don't know enough about Mike McCarthy's preferences when it comes to stuff like this. But maybe he just likes to have, a guy who can do the things the first guy does. If the first guy goes down or isn't available or needs a break, you know what I mean? Maybe he does like to have that carbon copy backup. And come to think of it, I mean, I'm just thinking back to, because the running backs for Green Bay and the Cowboys, while Mike McCarthy were there, were always quite prominent, right? Like, I'm thinking about like Eddie Lacy, and then it was...
They had the law firm for a
After
while. Who was that? Benson and someone else. I can't remember. Cedric Benson. Oh, who was in that? Benson and not Benson and Hedges. So it's another one. Anyway.
Benson and Hedges.
Who was that?
Anyway, anecdotally, I just feel like Mike McCarthy's running back rooms in the past have kind of followed that pattern of having like a kind of a guy that you would qualify as the running back one, but the backup being quite similar in makeup. But I can understand that idea that then, well, where does that leave the rest of the room, right? Like, you've got a guy like Heidenreich, who's, obviously a very specific kind of back. And then you've not really... Is Caleb Williams then out on the outs? Or are they going to keep him as that kind of power back, even though, like you said, he's 18 pounds smaller than Najee, who's a real power back? Don't know. It's an interesting question. That was one of my questions. Does Caleb Johnson make, does he make a case to stick around, or does he just kind of disappear?
I mean,
do you think
is this Caleb Johnson's best route onto the roster?
Right,
He's the beef.
I think so. Yeah. Do you think that's a role he could potentially fill?
Well, he's not even that heavy, but he's heavier than everyone else.
Right.
Does he need NFL peanut butter?
They all do.
I think
Maybe
in a way that style of player has maybe just gone a little bit even more out of fashion than it was, just in the sense that people now, unfortunately, because we refuse to get rid of this silly cheating rule where we just shove the quarterback's ass forward, it's like we have this way to get 3 yards now if we want it.
So
Interesting question. I think the run game question is maybe one of the bigger ones in training camp. Just defensively, there's so many questions. O-line, QB play, running back play. Fascinating. Tight end play.
yeah, because I think they've got explosion. Like both Dowdle and Warren bring that, and that's fine. Some pass catching ability. Like we don't really know what Caleb Johnson brings. He was potential feature back, but
It was just such a disastrous
just
rookie
went
year,
so
like,
wrong.
But having the whole, again, this is another guy where having the whole new, like Roman Wilson, having the whole new coaching staff is such an opportunity where it's like it could really just, it could be blank slate realistically for him. So we might be too quick to rule him out as an option. It might be that he impresses actually in training camp
Oh man,
without all this baggage.
I tell you what, you look at the list of Green Bay running backs. Not a lot of success here. Can say it. James Starks, Cedric Benson, Eddie Lacy, Jonathan Franklin, Ty Montgomery, Jamal Williams, AJ Dillon. I mean, these are the big names. There's not a lot of.
Oh yeah, and then they tried. What was your guy called at right slot? Kind of like a bit of a gadget guy, Amari Cooper. Not Amari Cooper, Amari Rogers.
Oh, Amari Rogers. No, he was. Did they try him? I thought he was a receiver, wasn't he?
He was a receiver, but they tried. They when that started to go downhill, I think he transitioned to.
Oh,
running
did
back
they? Oh, I
somewhere
don't
else.
remember that. I mean, Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, I guess, was the peak. That was a good time.
Interesting to note that it's Ramon Young who was at the Cowboys that is our running backs coach. He's not brought the one from
Green
Bay.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless
Green
one
Bay.
of them had a different job and I've not picked up on that somewhere.
Josh
sure
Jacobs
Ram
is
will tell me
probably
if
the
I'm wrong.
best running back on this list, you'd say, other than Aaron Jones.
Do you think
But
it
the list
was?
is
Eddie
irrelevant,
Lacy. Yeah,
isn't it?
those three. Cedric Benson for that short period. That's the one you remember. James Starks
he
was
ever-
good.
Was he ever with Zeke? Or was Zeke gone by then?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Might have been.
Yeah, he was, but it was the
It was
husk of
end
Zeke.
of career. Yeah, it was like when he was taking snaps in the last snap of the postseason game.
Yeah, so it's probably Armand Green, Ryan Grant, a little bit of Cedric Benson, James Starks, Eddie Lacy, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs. That's it, really, for good running
Yeah,
backs.
a bit of a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe says something about the prominence of the quarterback in like you say in his West Coast offense.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
Maybe the three most important parts of the run game are Zach Frazier, Jennings Dunker, Mason McCormick, Spencer Anderson.
What do we remember about that Green Bay offense? Obviously, apart from Aaron Rodgers, I remember Jordy Nelson, I remember James Jones, Donald Driver, and I remember, was it John Kuhn, the fullback?
John Kuhn.
John
yeah.
Kuhn. So maybe that's the answer. Obviously, David Bakhtiari and Clay Matthews, but that's defense. But yeah, so maybe it's more of a fullback thing. So maybe it's Nowakowski that's going to be tighting the rock. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer. It's John Kuhn. Nowakowski becomes John Kuhn.
So that position's wide open then.
Right, let's move on.
We're going to do our 50. I'm wary that I don't want to just do like, will this guy make the roster? Will this guy? Because obviously we're going to do the 53-man roster prediction at some point.
Right.
So, but yeah, that running back room is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I like to do that after I've seen a couple of preseason games.
Yeah.
'Cause,
After two, before the third, I think.
I like that information. So is there enough beef in the RB room? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'll say no.
No.
Okay. All right.
Mainly because I assume we'll fail to run the tush push again effectively.
Ben Simmons, the running back coach, is still with the Packers since 2016, says Ran.
Wow.
Coaching corner, coaching consigliere.
Holy
Thank
smokes.
you. All right, I've got one more question. Who's got some more questions?
I got a couple more, but
Okay, let's go.
You Google yours.
Go, no. I want mine at the end. Mine's the last
some of
question.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'll give you. Can I give you some quick fire ones that we don't have to spend too long on? Then that
Yeah,
maybe
please.
just I'll bounce through the ones we've not done. So, well, first I meant to use this first and forgot. What will training camp actually look like this year? And for the question, we know obviously it's remaining in Latrobe, but will the formation be the same? Will we still get Friday night lights and 7 shots, for example? Is there going to be big changes under Mike McCarthy, or is he just going to basically just say we're just going to do the same thing that Tomlin would do?
Ooh, kind of ties into my question, but I'm going to say...
Sorry.
That's okay. You want to know. I'm going to say... Wait, you put what will training camp look like this year? What's the actual question?
Well, no, I more
will it
mean,
look different?
will it differ, in a noticeable manner from a Tomlin training camp? Will it have a clear stamp on it, a clear Mike McCarthy philosophy stamp?
I'm going to say yes. I think they have to move on from that stuff.
Yes.
I think he's got to...
I think it will be the same but different. They'll still do 7 shots. They'll still do some of that stuff because that's just football practice. But yeah, it'll be very different.
I think it became, like you said, very institutional. I think he just is going to roll in there and not mess with it. Just kind of observe almost, and just sort of... It's interesting because I don't know how this stuff works, because theoretically, how would he even know the details? Like, obviously the players that have been there for years know, but I'm assuming he doesn't get with them and have a conversation beforehand. And it's not like he meets with anyone.
That's what I mean.
I guess there's...
he comes in and runs his own camp.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems very, like, obviously going to Latrobe and doing the Friday Night Lights practice, right? And, like, doing 7 shots at the end of all the padded practices. It feels very... Because the other teams don't do it, So it feels very Steeler-like.
The man is also from Pittsburgh, though, as we were told
That's a good point.
emphatically in the first press conference. He's going to have some awareness of the Steelers' history in Latrobe and stuff like that. So I think he will give a nod to that in some way, shape, or form, whether that's Friday Night Lights or what. But equally, I think he will be running his own camp. He's done it for 15 plus years.
Yeah, doing what he's been doing.
Also, I think he will be out there actively coaching. I think he will be around the quarterbacks, talking to them, coaching them as they're out there. I think he's going to be really hands-on with that quarterback group in particular. Hopefully the whole offense, but in particular the quarterback group.
Yeah.
I'm excited,
You've convinced me. Yeah.
I mean,
he will stamp it.
7 shots is a good idea if it's not your idea anyway, right? It's a great idea. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So wait, Si, you're saying training camp will not look different this year?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I guess it's a complicated question, really, to put a yes or no on, but I know you define boxes. So, write no in the box.
Done.
Okay, who else did we not speak about? Did the Jalen Warren, did Dylan Cook. This is one. Is Cameron Johnston nailed on as our punter, or will we see any competition? Basically, is anyone else going to get brought in to actually compete with Cameron Johnston, or is he just going to be here chilling through training camp?
Did he lose to Corliss Waitman, or was it injury that took him out?
Well, he lost is maybe a strong word, but yeah, if it's a competition, he lost it. He wasn't injured. He was perfectly healthy. He went and played for another team.
So that's kind of crazy that he's the anointed starter without any competition. So yeah, I think they'll bring someone in.
But where is he? Kind of crazy. He's not on the roster yet.
Street guy.
I'm going to say no. I say he just sits there chilling all through training camp, eating Uncrustables.
They're happy.
I'm going to say no, because I know that they brought in 12 tryout players in May, 3 of which were punters. Gabriel Nwosu, Ryan Stonehouse, and Devin Hale.
Stonehouse,
he did bring in Stonehouse.
Stonehouse, he was a big name.
What happened with Stonehouse?
Don't know.
Colorado State alumni, 3 years at the Titans, 22 to 24, averaged 52.2 yards per attempt on 216 punts, and second team All-Pro honors as a rookie.
Yeah. Falling out of favor, I guess.
Yeah. So Nwosu was the 6'6", 300-pound guy. Penn State's punter in 2025. Averaged 46 yards on 38 attempts, and Bale had 45 yards per punt on 75 attempts at Arkansas. in 24 and 25. So I think there'll be something brought in to keep him on his toes. I would
There's
think.
there's a video I'm looking at here that says Ryan Stonehouse. It's 8 minutes long and it says simply too good. And now he's a free agent. What happened?
Well, Cameron Johnston was a directional punter. Got a new. I know this is one of the saddest things of all, isn't it? That Danny Crossman is now our special teams coordinator.
That was another question I had was after losing Danny Smith, does our special teams still have a bit between their teeth in the same way?
All right. We won't have a wad of gum in his mouth. But does it just tell you that Crossman and the Brain Trust want more directional punting ability and they don't care about the big leg hang time that seems to have won all the battles and been drafted?
I'm not sure if that's what it tells us, or if it tells us that they just don't want the bother of another problem to add to the transitional off season. They just want a veteran punter that they knows the ins and outs. They don't have to worry about that that entire phase of play. They can just leave it to him. That might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about Crossman.
Well, he was the
Oh,
hire
what
that
is-
got the most heat, right? From
Yeah, a
from
lot
various
of
corners.
eyebrow raising.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
didn't think he was very good. So,
Guess
well,
we'll find out in training
We'll
camp.
see.
right.
Yeah.
Question: is Danny Crossman any good?
Maybe.
We're
don't
not
know.
going
We
to
don't
go into training camp.
We don't know. All right. Okay. And have
Is
you got any more?
Deshaun Elliott going to be fully healthy in training camp?
Is that a question officially or just a?
I don't know. Do I have to apply to make it an official question?
Well,
What's the
yeah.
process?
Quick fire, isn't it? It's quick
Just
fire.
quick firing some to sell. You don't have to write them down.
I don't know. Let's have a look. That's something we can Google. How's his Kets? How's his
Questions to Google before training camp.
Yeah. How is his health recovery? I don't know.
Questions to
I hope
Google.
so.
That might be the title of the episode. Questions to Google.
I hope so because they really missed him last year. I thought like a little bit of box safety, downhill, run fit.
We asked
bit of
Elliot
fire.
we asked AI these questions before Steelers training camp.
So I don't know the
Sean
answer to
Elliott
that one.
health.
Essentially, I haven't read any news or heard anything. Have you?
5
Well,
hours ago, Deshaun Elliott looks to bounce back after devastating injury, but that doesn't really tell us
I
if
wouldn't
he is
bounce
going to
too
bounce
hard.
back or not. He had
I
some
just
kind
think
of
he was an
interview
important
today where
piece that we
I
missed.
thought my career was
Absolutely.
over.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your last one, Gav?
What Kets? You got any more? Or is that it? Are we there?
Just a very Kets question, and I clarified with Mark, am I going to get killed for asking this? And given that it's you two and Mark's not here, I think the answer is probably yes. Way too early. Have we got any clear roster weaknesses ahead of 2026? I.e., players that at the end of the year we're going to be like, right, we need to draft a linebacker, a running back, etc.
And the question is,
Quarterback.
are you saying, is there a clear
Roster week.
Are there any
position
clear
group or
roster
position area?
groups or position areas where we're like, we know that despite the off season, despite the
Yeah.
draft, we're still lacking in those
Still-
areas?
At this stage, I'd say quarterback and running back.
Okay, fine.
Well, see, no, I don't think either of those really fit the criteria because do you say quarterback, sorry?
Yeah.
Like QB?
Yeah.
Well, because quarterback, I mean, the names are all there, right? I mean, are we going to need a new one? Well, probably because Aaron Rodgers will retire, but the young ones are there. So if they're, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to leave QB to the side because it's obviously a weird position and we kind of know that we need a new young QB, but it could be one of these guys or it could not be. It's like Schrodinger's position, whatever.
Mhm.
What was the other one you said, Gav?
Running back.
Running back. See,
Wide
we
receiver
think that
as well,
that's
maybe.
so. We think that's so bad that we know that that's going to be a priority next season. Running back.
As I said, I think there's a role player position, a weakness there that they need.
Okay, well, yeah, all right, yeah. It's like knowing that we need that big guy or the like you said,
And then the
beef in
speed
in
and
the room.
separation receiver
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I thought you were talking about like position groups as a whole,
No, to particular roles.
particular roles. Yeah. Maybe like that kind of like dominant run defending edge player. If I'm starting to like look outwards into the future, if we're to project that TJ is going downward, or maybe we
Highsmith.
lose,
Yeah.
one of those guys.
Yeah. That's a good
Keanu
point.
Benton, I'll point out as well, is and I was going to kind of ask this, and I'll transition into this. Keanu Benton is entering his last season, similar to JPJ, and he seems even further away from being close to a contract. So I was going to say, is this... well, my question was going to be related to that. Are we going to see any trades? Because an ESPN article came out saying that the following Steelers players are worth a first-round pick.
I saw that as well.
They went around the whole league and said that these players are worth first-round pick on each team. And for the Steelers, it was JPJ, Nick Herbig, Derek Harmon, Zach Frazier, Troy Fatanu, and Keanu Benton were the ones that ESPN listed. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find well, I mean, who knows? The Bears used to trade anyone for anyone, so who knows? But I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a GM in this league that would trade you a first-round pick for Keanu Benton.
I thought that was a bit wild. But if Mark was here...
Unless Mark becomes a GM of another NFL franchise. If Mark becomes the Raiders GM...
that laugh
and trades for Benton to join his Raiders super team, there's possibly a chance in that. But yeah, I don't know. Do we still need that 3-gap run defending nose tackle that is about 500 pounds and just eats anybody alive that stands in front of him?
We've been crying out for it, right?
Gav's been telling me that for 6 years.
Yeah, it's not happened.
Yeah. Where's Sayaki Ika when you need him, go?
Right, well, apparently the league's moved on, so I need to as well.
We all need to move on from the big...
I am, of course, talking about Mr. Keanu Benton.
I remember when Mark sent my now mother-in-law, who was watching the Dublin game, albeit at home, and we were in Birmingham, and Mark was very excited because Benton made a play, and then Amy's mum messaged us to say, "Oh, that was a really good play," and then Mark grabbed the phone and recorded a voice note saying, "That's Keanu Benton, baby, woo!" Absolutely elite. Mark likes them young and thick.
Ran has chipped in saying, just a word from Coaching Corner. Patrick Graham as defensive coordinator, Danny Crossman as special teams coordinator were appointed by Brian Flores when he was appointed head coach at Miami in 2019. So this is Brian Flores.
Brian Flores, interesting.
Nice. Okay, it gives me some confidence.
Yeah,
Thank
now
you, Ran.
Ketz is sold. That's it. That's the only thing you need to say. Now Ketz will love those appointments for the rest of the time.
Rand can make me have utmost faith or complete misery with any message he sends with anything. Actually, if you look at it from this angle, and I'm like, oh no, the world's ended. But then he'll say something like that, and I'll be like, oh great, we've won the Super Bowl. It's yeah.
So
wonderful.
Any clear roster weaknesses? Is that a yes or no, or are we listing the weaknesses?
No, we'll list the positions so that we look daft next year.
Okay, I'm going to say running back. That's what I'm going to say right now. I'm going to leave wide receiver off because I think someone might emerge. Simon?
Yeah, I would say run defender pretty broadly. I don't know, again, what form that would necessarily take would depend. But
Run D.
Yeah.
Ketz? Your question?
I think run D, linebacker, running back.
I'm going for 3.
The Jalen Warren erasure is real.
Run D, linebacker, running back. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions before I hit our last one?
I
Just go ahead.
Jalen Warren.
Okay. Mike Tomlin legacy. And I don't really know if there's an answer to this, and it's kind of like almost what you said, your question, Si, but what is going to remain of Mike Tomlin? What is his legacy? How would you spot a remnant of his legacy? I guess we'll find out. But thinking back, we had 22 years of it or whatever, but what was it? Like ball control, offense in different guises, defense running the ship, a hell load of cool jargon and phrases.
I don't know about you. What jumps to my mind first is like a defensive focus on turnovers and maybe more than turnovers, like just a defensive focus on creating chaos, like a defensive philosophy based around turnover creation.
Big play defense.
Yeah, big play. Big play defense is kind of what I think. Like, what else would we look? Because a lot of it is so
consistency,
like pastoral almost. Like
it's man management, wasn't it? It was man motivated.
Yeah.
God, that's a young picture, isn't it? That you've just brought up, Gav. Just I think the man and the profile of the man is something impressive and something I don't think we'll see again in the league wide almost. He's such a
But
kind of a strong figure.
How will we spot that? His legacy. How do we spot him in the team in 2026? Tough, isn't it? I don't know if there's much there. Like, reading up about McCarthy and McKellen Moore, and there's the remnants of Jason Garrett in his offense and all that stuff. You're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like the guy's moved on, but it's still his playbook, his verbiage, his cadence is still on that team even now. And presumably it will be with Tomlin. But how do we spot it?
Well, it's like moving into an apartment, right? That's been kind of cleaned out, but there's still like some mild remnants of the fact that somebody lived here before you. But then, as you live there over time, they will gradually fade and just become, you.
That's the first thing you do, though, isn't it? Rip the kitchen out.
Yeah,
that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, but
new bathroom, new kitchen, carpets.
I was quite sad about this because I was thinking about it, and I had Rich echoing in my mind saying, the reason why we haven't got rid of him is because everyone loves him, but really it's paper thin. There's nothing there. And it's kind of right in a way. Like, what is there apart from we're going to paint the barn red?
It's hard in an exercise like this because it's, like we said, so much that stuff is not tangible. I mean, he was never a schematic innovator, right? Is that fair to say?
No, he's a leader of men.
Yeah, and so the things that he's leaving behind aren't things we can probably point to schematically because they'll probably be turfed over pretty quickly by the next guy that comes in. But I think there will be a history of just the approach. I mean, frankly, the steal away has developed under Mike Tomlin. I mean, the steal away is not the same thing. It obviously retains the spirit and the heart of what it was throughout, since 1933, but it has grown under Mike Tomlin and developed into the modern age as something new. And we can talk about the win-loss ratio, but I just think that the general kind of focus on what it means to be the Steelers as an organization and what it means to come to play in Heinz Field on Monday night and things like that are the things that will track through history, if you will, and be echoes of Mike Tomlin even into the years ahead, right? You can almost look at it similarly. Like, think of other teams that have had similar style, long-tenured, legendary-esque coaches that won a Super Bowl. Pete Carroll has moved on from the Seahawks. Do we still feel Pete Carroll in Seattle? I would argue in many ways no, but in some ways also yes, in this like deep desire to build this kind of like powerful, aggressive secondary unit, right? And it feels almost like that dribbles down in like a trickle down way to the players, right? Who probably grew up watching those teams and wanting to bring that spirit back to Seattle. And so I bet there's an element of that with the Steelers, and maybe in 10 or 15 years, we'll see edge rushers that come under a new coach that's probably not Mike McCarthy even, and want to emulate TJ Watt and do the things that Mike Tomlin players did.
Yeah, definitely. But equally, we need to go and win a playoff game now.
Sure.
Like, Tomlin was
let me
so
be romantic
consistent.
for a minute, Mike. Oh, God damn it.
No. It's fair. But you know my thoughts on this, and I've waxed ab nauseam about this for many years. But, like, this team was almost kind of choked by how consistent Tomlin was. He had such a good floor, but he didn't have the ceiling to go out and build the teams and go out and win those. Obviously, he won the first couple of Super Bowls early on, but then the last like 10, 15 years, it almost, there we go. Yeah. He didn't get near a Super Bowl again. So
see, Ketz actually was saying as soon as he won that Super Bowl, that last Super Bowl, as soon as he won it, he was like, we should fire him now. It's the best it'll ever get. And in fact, if you think we shouldn't fire Tomlin after winning the Super Bowl, well, just wait and see how wrong you're going to look.
For the next, what was it?
By the way, as a wide receiver,
16 years
down the line.
Enjoy the next 15 years, guys, because you ain't getting near it.
Don't forget, though, my lens of looking at Tomlin was just
very end.
Just 9 and 8 for 6 years.
Yeah.
I see offensive issues. I see roster construction issues. I've seen the defense. Yeah, and it's been lovely to see as many wins as I saw over that amount of time. But then it was got to January. It's like, oh well, draft
you know
time.
what you
Let's
are.
look at some
you
players.
know what you were, Kets, for the last 6 years. You were like the custodian of a listed building that had no connection to the history of it. You'd been put in it, and you were like, "Look, I get it. It's beautiful, but it's falling apart.
Yeah.
Can you please knock it down and build something new?" And we're all like, "But God, it was so gorgeous. Remember when we used to sit on the garden and."
It's lovely brickwork. Look at the beams, and I'm
And
like,
do you remember when the killer bees would fly in through the window in the summer game?
lads, there's woodworm in the beams. Can we get some kind of structural engineer up in here?
Reese has made a good point in the chat that his legacy will be revealed by how well we do this year. That's an interesting sort of counterpoint I'd not thought of. Yeah, like if they have a losing season, obviously then that's the legacy is revealed.
Yeah.
Reese says, especially how hard we play in those scrappy games will say a lot about Mike.
That's a great one. Yep.
As schematically limited as we were, players would run through a wall for him. Will they do the same for McCarthy? Yeah, it's true. Like the man motivation thing.
Maybe the ultimate tribute is we go 9-8 and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
That would be the ultimate tribute.
Well, then it wasn't Tomlin all along. I guess
rethink my entire personality.
I guess this isn't really a question that can be answered in training camp, but I guess it can in what you said, Si, about 7 shots and the culture about training camp and how the Steelers were going. So I guess that will show it. So I'm going to put yes, 7 shots and the structure of training camp is the answer. Will that show that he has stamped his mark on this team?
And has staying power, at least in the sense that this is just how things are done, and it's the way that Mike Tomlin did it.
Nice.
All right, cool. Any more?
Well, so that was my. What's your answer? Have you not got one? For Mike Tomlin and his legacy, and how will we spot it?
I feel like it was some combination of that giant diatribe that I just gave. Can you input that somehow?
Not really. Can you just boil it down to 5 words? Kets? Or just leave it blank?
Mike Tomlin, man manager extraordinaire.
Not really. An
positive Tomlin comment, box tick.
Yes, culture trickles.
Culture trickles
down.
Culture
trickles down.
Trickle down culture. The left don't believe it happens. The right thinks it does. Kets? The question is, how will you spot Tomlin's legacy in training camp? That's the question.
Hopefully, I won't, go McCarthy.
Doesn't want to.
The offensive coordinator will sign a toilet seat.
That's fine. Doesn't want to.
Competent offense, competent defense.
No,
yay.
That's not an answer. Doesn't want to is fine. Right, okay, there we go, guys. Thank you. Well done. That was a good exercise.
So
good
my
chat
answer
there.
is not allowed.
No, sorry. So wait. So you think competent offense, competent defense?
Yeah.
Is a legacy of Mike Tomlin. Competency. I'm still worried about the takedown. Sorry for the fade up and down. Competency. That's your answer.
Competency, consistency.
Competency and consistency.
Guys, we're officially out of the segment. We played the bits and bobs ending.
Just get some heat for his vagueness. All right, fine. Right. Kets, did you have a
That's vague questions. You get vague answers, I say.
Las vagueness. Population 1. Kets.
I've had a very clear position on Tomlin on this podcast for the last 4 years.
I'm sorry, I'm just giving you some heat. Oh, Tom's put, I just feel the gritty toughness, I think, will be there. That will be there to see. So gritty toughness.
Hey, hi, Tom.
There you go.
I hope you caught my Tom today.
Tom.
Did you, Kets, I believe you wish to speak a little bit about the new stadiums to sign us off today.
Stadia.
Yeah.
Stadia. What is the plural of stadium? Stadia?
Stadia, I think it is. So I put a poll out a few weeks ago, and I thought this was an interesting discussion. Mainly because it makes you actually appreciate your most bitter rivals in order to succeed in this question. So there are 8 divisions in football. I want us to work out the best division based on their stadiums and their stadiums alone in the AFC, the same in the NFC, and then pick a winner. Or Gav obviously can pick 2 NFC divisions and decide which one he thinks wins, because that's how Gav looks at the NFC.
Thanks.
Right back at you, sir. So
Pleasure.
we have to pick between the AFC North, East, South, or West as to which division, with a combination of all of their stadiums, has the best mixture. Now, I will share a link with you both in the chat, which just gives you Gav, you can put these on the YouTube stream.
That's really good.
This is stadiumsofprofootball.com, and there is an AFC stadium page and there is an NFC stadium page. Other websites may be available, but this was the best one that I found.
No, this is a really good.
We can kind of talk through, I guess, however you want to do this. I have a clear answer in my head of what I think the best combination of 4 stadiums is. But yeah, maybe we talk through each division, talk about which ones are good, bad, indifferent, which stadiums we like, dislike, any features of stadiums that we like. That, you know, I don't think we talk about stadiums very much, so I thought it's quite a cool thing to maybe speak about and see what people think. Some people like domes, some people like, you know, very outdoor, traditional sort of American football stadiums.
Yeah, it's a tough one because what are the conditions here? Because obviously there's better stadiums for watching on TV, and then better stadiums for watching in person. Better stadiums for playing in. I don't know, this is tough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's talk me through it. Which stadiums do you think are good on TV that would be...
Well, I'll tell you which ones I hate on TV, which were the St. Louis Rams Stadium and the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're depressing as hell. Obviously, St. Louis, that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I was going to say, right, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the LA Rams now. But when it was the St. Louis
Maybe let
Rams...
me caveat this with the current 31 stadiums.
Yeah, okay, but that's an example...
Sorry, 30 stadiums.
30 stadiums, I was about to say.
Yeah, the example of what I hate is that grey tone depressing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find a picture.
I think in the AFC, and I'm assuming this, and so you want us to choose the best division out of the AFC, right?
Yes.
So I think that, and shout out. So I'll tell you what. I'll just talk you through this very quickly. Kit. Shout out to a couple that aren't in the division that's the best. Lucas Oil, very cool stadium.
Always love that one.
Unfortunately, not in the best division. Even though Houston M&T is pretty cool too.
That's the thing with this. This exercise brings out like Lucas Oil is brilliant, but then you also have to pick Jacksonville, which is just a bit,
which has a swimming pool for dogs.
Yeah, does it?
Which actually is pretty cool. Yeah, it does. Okay, it's definitely the AFC West, right? With the 2 new stadiums that are just head and shoulders above all the other stadiums in the league. Arrowhead is the loudest stadium in the league.
Denver's
highest. Really high up.
Yeah. But it's kind of, Denver always has nice light in it. You can see it there in the picture. Yeah. It's always got the sun shining through, which is the one which always got everyone. It's got the big shadow through it, and everyone's always got their hands up. Is that?
That's are you on about the Cowboys or is that Hard Rock?
No,
Miami.
Maybe it was an old stadium, doesn't exist anymore. There was one that always had a big shadow halfway through it, and I can't remember what it was.
Gav is doing this episode from 1993, but
possibly, yeah, possibly. Sorry,
but that's fine. Let the record state that the Buffalo Stadium has clearly changed since this picture because it's the old.
Now that's an NFL stadium. That looks old school. But that's a bowl.
I really like the new Buffalo Stadium. I think it's really good.
Well, they've missed a trick on it though. Do you know what it is? The trick that they've missed.
Talk me through it.
Outside the front of the stadium, they've got a big sculpture, like a lot of these stadiums do. You know, where they'll like put the Monday Night Football cameras when they're panning in, right? And it's 3 buffalo, right? Like 3 buffalo, like in a position looking cool. Clearly, they've missed the trick. Why would they not have put the number of buffalo to make the sentence that makes sense when you just say buffalo? You know, you just say like 12 buffaloes and it like is grammatically correct.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Why would you not put that many buffaloes in the sculpture? Wait, when else are you going to be commissioned to make a sculpture with a certain number of buffaloes?
Never. They really dropped the ball. Kets, where have you seen the stadium? Like, because no one's seen a game there yet, have they?
No, I've just seen pictures of it. I think the Bills tweeted it out. I'm sure if you Google Buffalo picture, it's like a combination of really nice reds and blues. It looks very modern. It's a really
Yeah, I
nice,
see
especially the
renderings,
interior of it.
but not necessarily.
It is available.
Real. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But yeah, I'm going to hold.
It does look like that. Yeah,
I'm going to hold judgment until I actually see a damn game.
I think the season's got to start. We've got to see it in its glory, filled on a night game. That's really where the proof in the pudding is.
Definitely, but it does look a lot like that actually. That image you're showing there, but it's a really nice modern stadium. But obviously, it's open to the elements as well, which I think is nice from a
there was some confusion about that.
A Buffalo
right?
history standpoint. Yeah.
Some people thought it was going to be a dome. Were a bit confused, but what is it? It's a retractable. Yeah. Oh no! What it is that it's partially covering the fans, right, to save from having to
scoop all the seats out every week.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Bill Stadium where you get the sun and everyone's covering their eyes.
But I think it could also be Hard Rock, I guess. I think the rest of that division is let down by MetLife, despite the fact it's going to hold the World Cup.
You can't
final
have MetLife
on Saturday.
Yeah,
and also I'm going to get some heat from Gal for this, but Foxborough looks alright on TV. I don't know if.
Yeah, whatever.
For a big team, it's kind of like okay, but yeah, I agree with you, Si. I think AFC West is clear the best combination of stadiums in this division.
I will say this because we've not even talked about the AFC North. You could probably we've just been. I want to be fair. We've just been critical of Gillette. You could probably say the same thing about Acrisure. However, what saves Acrisure? Where is it? And look at the view from when you sit inside in different places and the location. You know what I mean, so it's
obviously not today because it's covered in fog from
admittedly not
Fire
today.
Canada. Admittedly. Canadian Fire is causing fog to this day in Pittsburgh. The Browns are going to have some kind of underground car park by the looks of it, from what I can gather.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns is the worst stadium, right? That's got to be. I mean, it looks all right there, but just
I don't know.
Just looks
really
just horrible.
Seems
like everything's orange,
nondescript.
brown. It's got like a elf halfway down.
I mean, genuinely, and also, I mean, I'm not even saying this because it's Cleveland or whatever. Name what is one thing about the Cleveland Stadium?
The elf.
It was in the film Draft Day.
No, I mean, obviously the elf, but that's just the logo. They all have the logos in the middle. What is one thing about the?
Well, they have that.
What's unique about the stadium?
Weird, what do they call that?
The locals eat dog food.
The wrap around the you can see it there.
The crappy wrap around the thing.
That's. I mean, that's hiding a world of sins, but
the crap around we can call it.
Crap around, but it's kind of cool. It's got like its own thing, like the dog pound or whatever. I don't know. It's better than nothing. Better than just being.
I think our division. I think our division. All the stadiums are pretty poor, and frankly, ours is. And I'm not even. I don't think I'm being biased. I just think it's the coolest, just because of the location and the imagery of it. But outside of that, like the other three stadiums, I mean, Paycor, forget about it.
It's kind of plain.
M&T looks kind of cool, but I mean, it's literally, we call it the big porta poo.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a bit of a cauldron, isn't it? You go into Baltimore, it feels. I mean, usually when the Steelers are going in, they've got a backup quarterback, and it's steamy nights, but. There's definitely a vibe there.
And then obviously Cincinnati has the Loservator, which I still find funny every time I see it on TV.
Yeah. I like to imagine they just like the Simpsons elevator, they just get to the top and just drop off the end.
Just fall off the end.
Elevator to nowhere.
I thought about that actually watching games before. I was like, I wonder if they just fall off.
So what are we?
Saying,
who are we saying best, Vegas or Inglewood?
I think it's Inglewood. Although I don't know actually. I don't know, Kets. You've been to Allegiant, so I don't know.
I've been to Allegiant. I think it would be really cool to see a game there. I did like the tour, where famously the Raiders tour guide who took us around the stadium. I was in my Chase Claypool white road Steelers jersey.
I wonder if he still thinks about that.
I hope he does, because he said to me, Raiders fans left hand side, anyone else on the right. Now, obviously, the left hand side escalator was going up. So basically, what he was saying was, you're going to have to go up the downwards escalator. So I went, okay, I'm going to call you out on that. I then proceeded to sprint up the escalator that was coming towards me quite fast, actually. Yeah. The last 3 steps were particularly difficult. I felt I did about 12
like
off the last
gladiators.
3 steps, like just absolutely sprinting for the top.
Oh.
Got to the top, like sort of just leaped onto the end, and then tried to hold my breath so I didn't look completely out of breath when I then turned around and cued the smug grin on my face to a crowd of Raiders fans that actually applauded for the effort.
Oh, well
So
done. Well done.
yeah, go
That
Steelers.
guy was definitely like dreading the you falling and getting the legal
Yeah.
issues. The legal
Losing 5
ramifications.
teeth, a massive savage chin gash,
Why did you tell this guy he had to go up the opposite end of the
Then-
elevator
yeah.
and he ran off?
getting his
I
lace
could have
caught
bankrupted
in
Las
the,
Vegas.
getting dragged
missed
back
opportunity.
down, upside down. That would have been good. I'd like to see that.
Just
Okay,
going
so the
round
next
and round.
Steelers fan that goes to the Allegiant Stadium tour, if you happen to fall over, please sue Vegas for all of their money, which there is plenty.
Have to shout Leroy Jenkins Ketts and
Allegedly.
run up the escalator as
Leroy
fast as you can. What I will say
Yes.
about the Vegas Stadium, fantastic parking. Look at that! Look at that level of parking there. You've got all kinds
There's
of parking
nothing but
there.
parking where they
Yeah,
are.
there's plenty of space for tailgating there. That's got to be up
It's
there.
a desert. It's
Well,
a desert.
it's
too hot
a
to
pretty
tailgate.
busy. You got Mandalay Bay right there. It's a pretty busy location.
You cannot stand outside in that temperature for 5 minutes. Trust me, I tried.
That's why you
It's
need parking.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. What time of year were you
Yeah.
there?
When was
Height
that?
of summer?
Good question. I think it might be around summer. Hang on.
Well, yeah, that would make sense.
I consult my notes. Yeah, June.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're
don't go to Vegas in June.
exceptionally close to the airport. You can fly in, go for a quick dip, and get some cocktails at the Mandalay Bay, across the I-15, and you're at Allegiant. Perfect.
If you need any advice on that airport, I believe Rich knows it quite well, based on a couple of things I saw on TV. Famously,
Yeah,
had
I
some
for
movie
one, I'm
scenes
all
in that
for.
airport.
I for one, I'm all for continuing to rip our stadiums out of the heart of our communities and dump them into empty deserts on the edge of nowhere.
Well, this one isn't. This
That's-
one's right by the airport.
And it's also right by the strip.
Well,
I mean,
it's right by the airport in a city that was built in the middle of nowhere with nobody who actually.
I mean,
Let's
the
look at
one you've got to really question is the 49ers. I mean, where the hell is that? That's not even in San Francisco. It's like,
Yeah.
where is that?
I don't hold
Santa
that
Clara,
against
right?
them because I don't think
They had
you'd
to build
want
it
a
next to some
stadium in
station.
San Francisco.
Say again?
I don't think you'd want a stadium in San Francisco. You'd probably get
Well, they used to have
shocked.
one. It's right on the bay.
Not
They'd have to change the name to the San Francisco Bums.
Right. What's happened to San Francisco? That's one of my favourite cities.
I know. It's sad because when I was a kid, it was the city in the world that I was most like. I really wanted to visit San Francisco. I don't know why. It was just I was fascinated by it.
Had so much fun there.
But I hear terrible things about it.
Yeah, it
To
was
be
pretty
honest.
grim when I went.
When did you
pretty
go?
good when I
When were
went.
you there? I was there 2008.
Same trip when I was at Vegas. It was
Oh, right.
2024, I think 2022.
Oh, right.
We did 3.
And what was so bad about
That
it?
ballpark.
Just bums on the street.
I just felt rough around the edges. Like I put my watch in my pocket because I was concerned that it would be stolen.
Wow.
Well, didn't I mean I don't know the ins and outs, but didn't like a bunch of states like just keep sending all the homeless communities west, and they ended up here, and then they couldn't.
Yeah,
get
I
any
mean, where
further?
else are you going to go if you're homeless? San Francisco's is a good shout. Okay.
And obviously the weather there is pretty good most of the year, so you're not going to freeze
Yeah.
of death.
And you get pretty good sushi there. So maybe that's a good reason.
Good sushi. I'm sure that's exactly what they've gone for.
Now,
Dumpster sushi even.
do we want to head
Dumpster.
over to the NFC?
Sure.
I thought we had because you took us to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Right. So, but I mean, the actual conversation about
Yes,
it.
let's do that.
Mm.
So I think
Mhm.
again the West is a strong contender. Obviously, you've got SoFi in both.
Yeah, a bit of a cheat.
I quite like Stake Farm as an indoor
A fridge.
dome venue. Looks really cool from the outside as well. I think there's some really good stadiums in the NFC generally. Actually,
Yeah.
How do you feel
Si,
about
talk us through Lumen Field.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question?
I say talk us through Lumen Field.
Well, this is the thing. The West has another great argument here because I think I'm not calling it Lumen Field. I think the Clink is an iconic stadium because of that. Obviously, that unique. We spoke about it in recent weeks. Obviously, we spoke about Mark's version in Southampton, I think that's an iconic stadium. It's in a similar way, like the Pittsburgh one, where because you can see the city skyline behind that, and then obviously the way the volume builds up. I absolutely love that stadium. I think that Levi Stadium looks cool, although admittedly, like we said, it's a bit commercial and in the wrong place. And then SoFi is great, but then there is great contenders here. I mean, the NFC North is a contender, right? Because they have this
Very much
interesting mix here of a very new and maybe one of the most impressive modern stadiums in Minneapolis, and then two very historically relevant stadiums in Soldier Field and Lambeau Field. Now, obviously, Soldier Field might be moving to Indiana, so Jesus. But for now, at least, that's obviously historically interesting. What's to do with Ford Field?
Another one.
I like.
I was going to say,
I really like the
another grey.
See, I like that one on TV, Gav. I got to be honest. I don't know why. I think
I know
it's
what you
like,
mean. It's not as bad as
unique.
the others. Yeah.
It's unique. It's like got a unique color palette whenever I watch the Detroit home game.
I like Ford Field in terms of the interior of the stadium. For some reason, the turf annoys me. I don't know what it is about the turf. It just, I don't know if it's the color of it or the hue of the color. There's just something about it that frustrates me when I watch a Detroit home game.
I do know what you mean. It is different. It
is
a different hue. I agree. I mean, same with the Saints. I find have a weird hue.
Yeah, the Saints is another one that's kind of grim and dark.
Is it a bit lighter than the others?
Detroit is lighter. Yeah, it's out of the sort of dome ones. It's one of the better ones. Great game there. Steelers played last year. I think I remember that game forever. That was. Do you remember that game? The DK getting off game.
Yeah, of course.
What a great game. But it wasn't just about that. It was just the nature of it and the win in the end. Yeah, it was a good game.
It has the really big sort of decorative window on one side of Ford Field as well. You can't see it in this picture necessarily, but it's got like a real big kind of window on one side, which is a real nice nod to sort of Detroit's industrial heritage and the architecture. I think they've really hit that nail on the head. And as I said, you've got Lambeau. That speaks for its own. I think every football fan in the world should go to Lambeau for a game at some point in their lives. Soldier Field, is it maybe the weakness in this division? Controversial take, maybe?
See, I don't know, because I'm sure it probably is from like a game day experience standpoint, probably. I don't know that, but I'm just guessing. But it is iconic and does look cool. You know? Like kind of like what's the Coliseum, right, would be a terrible game day experience, I'm sure, compared to the modern ones, but it's an iconic, cool stadium. I think we can discount. Let's tell you what. Let's discount the East because the Cowboys, like Jerry World, is carrying that division. Let's be honest.
100%. You look at like whatever the Commanders are.
Yeah, I mean that's
still
a mess.
Even there. It's like falling to pieces.
A mess. The Eagle Stadium is meh at best. Let's be honest.
It does have a jail. That's the funniest part of the Eagles Stadium. But yeah, I think you agree. Jerry World is the clear headliner of that division.
Now, in another world, the South, I think, would be in with a shout because they've obviously got the Atlanta Stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is very modern and very cool. The Caesar Superdome for New Orleans, very modern, very cool, although we don't like some of the visuals. And Tampa has a literal pirate ship.
And
which has got to be a unique selling point.
Don't sleep on the grass parking.
Grass parking.
I love the grass parking there.
No way.
Yeah, it's like so country fair. I love it.
I just noticed that Gav has bookmarked each of the 30 NFL stadiums. I love that. Google Maps. That's really good.
But yeah, Steelers do play at Tampa this year. That pirate ship is awesome. I think before I chose the Steelers, I nearly chose the Bucks just because they had a pirate ship because I thought that was such a cool kind of thing. And they play in red, which was obviously I'm a Sheffield United fan, so
you could have won a Super Bowl.
That was kind of like I might pick a red team. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, I think that'd be a really cool stadium to visit one day. But yeah, the Panther Stadium
isn't bad, to be honest. It's not bad. Look, if you look at it, actually, do you know what the Panther Stadium is? The Panther Stadium is one of the best opening day stadiums. Where, like, when it's still almost summer and it's like the height of a blue sky, like beaming in. Greg Olsen has got long, wavy blue hair, like catching up. It looks
pounding.
Keep pounding.
And then.
But by the end of the season, the end of the season, much like the Panthers themselves, it does feel like the stadium has dwindled into obscurity and looking a bit drab and sad.
And no one really wants to be there.
Right.
Summer
and empty. Yeah,
Stadium.
it's empty by that point as well. Yeah.
If you
So, I
notice
think
that
the
I
South is
bookmarked
out.
the stadiums, you also will have noticed that the actual bookmark for each stadium is in the car park. Panthers car park, where is it? Is it that? Where's the parking here?
I like the idea they don't need parking because nobody's
Nobody
got
goes. Look, this very little parking again.
Wait, it's there. We're zooming round to it round the backside, but it's very small
It's
compared
very
to
small. Here.
every other team.
That
Yeah,
seems
tiny.
like executives and team staff to me.
People mustn't drive to the Bank of America Stadium. Or they must park on all those fields nearby it as like
Do we have
private parking.
park and ride situation in Charlotte?
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
wonder
Any
why-
Charlottonians get in touch, let us know.
And why Gav's primary focus on
It's
each
always the
stadium is
parking.
where's the parking?
He's obsessed
Well,
with
it's
the
a big
parking,
problem
even though
in
no
Wembley.
one drives
If you
to the
look at-
games.
If you look at Wembley, where is it? I got that here. On my
That's true.
bookmarks.
Yeah, Wembley parking.
Why is it a
yeah,
problem in
okay.
Wembley? Who drives to Wembley to go to
Well,
a game?
Exactly. Northerners.
If you drive to Wembley to go to a game, you're an idiot.
No, Northerners don't go to Wembley.
Where
'cause we-
is the
it's like-
parking at Wembley? There isn't any. The coaches.
Okay.
There's a coach car park there.
a personal bias has worked
Oh, I
its way
see,
into
we've
Gav's
descended
stadium
into
analysis.
Looking at the
Well,
Wembley parking.
this is my local stadia, right? It's like I get annoyed by it. Like, why don't we have our national stadium? Should have this. This should be leveled here.
Gav,
Look at
everything I feel.
yeah.
My local stadium shares a car park with the Cineworld. So whenever there's a game, I've got nowhere to park.
Wait, you live in York. What's your local stadium?
It's attached to the Cineworld.
Yeah, who
York
is it?
City Football Club.
Yeah.
Come on, Gav. So, best stadium in
Who
the
goes
AFC
and watch York City
North
Football Club?
is
I mean,
York
come
City,
People
due
from
to there
York
being
going,
a cinema multiplex there. So, just to bring it back to dry football chat, Gav, sorry, I apologise.
Hang on, I'm looking at York. What are you talking about? There's more parking at York City Football Club than there is at Wembley.
no,
Look at that.
hold on a minute.
There is
you're probably
plenty
looking
of
at-
parking.
Yeah, but you're looking at the parking for like all the shops nearby it, not the parking for the.
This screen is like 50%
Hold on.
parking.
Where are we? So right, yeah, but this is the trap that you're falling into, right? Is that the only parking for this? So is the one that's right in like it's going to be hard to direct you from 30 seconds in the past, but it's directly to the right of the stadium, and it's that one little bit of parking is the only bit that's for the stadium.
Wait,
All
this
the rest
bit?
is for things.
This
Don't
like
let
arc.
him look
curves.
back at,
Yeah,
It
that curve.
curves. Yeah, that curve
Don't-
bit.
don't look back at Middlebrook in Bolton again because you'll be like, this is the best stadium in the world
Right.
ever.
Yeah, it's got so much parking.
Well, that's
And it's like
you've
it's all
got
for Asda.
more parking there than Wembley.
6,000 car parking spaces.
There's more parking there than Wembley. No, there isn't.
All right. Well, let's
That
all right.
sounds-
Let's go.
Oh,
and
is there no
spot.
parking? Is that
There's
just
like-
because everyone's just parked on the street?
There is no parking at Wembley. Zero. Rand says, look for the pink car park.
Right, but so this what you're looking at in the zoomed up bit, like that is
Find the
all
find,
of that's
find,
just for the
find
just for
the
the
car park for Wembley. Where is it?
Okay. 3 hours into the pod, gentlemen, I want to get to the end of this. NFC stadiums, we are saying we're discounting the East and discounting the South. So we're between...
shout out Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Though. That's a cool hollow video screen. I think
North
I've got to
or
go
West,
West
I
in this one
believe.
as well. To be honest, I like sorry Lambo, but the other ones aren't doing enough. It's close with M&T. No, it's not M&T. Sorry, US Bank
I think
Stadium.
US Bank is really underrated as well. I think if you go to there, you'd just be like, wow, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like with
But the problem is
horn.
that because the West has SoFi, it already like those discount each other to me. Like where SoFi is also one of those where I think both of those stadiums I'd be overwhelmed by. Like wow,
Yeah.
And then
And I think
I just love
SoFi is
Lumen.
potentially the best stadium in the league.
In the world?
That's why
probably is.
both...
I think in the world probably, yeah, I would imagine.
Unless we're talking about Azteca or some of these other rope-a-dope football round ball stadiums.
At least
that
in
sounds
terms of
okay.
when we're talking about modern amenities, right? Like it's literally like the world's most modern mall as well as the as well as the stadium and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like it was built for
Yeah.
Hollywood. It was built for, that team in that place.
Why do we
makes
hate
sense.
MetLife Stadium so much?
It's very ugly. It's a concrete jungle. Everybody who actually watches games there despises it. I drove past it and it does just look like a big concrete circle. It's gross.
I went to a game there, and the best part of it was probably the sunset.
You know what I'm going to
A
say?
nice view of the sunset over the stadium.
Serious parking.
So for God's
Look at that
Yeah,
parking.
the tailgating was very good.
it's because it's in New
My,
Jersey.
uh,
Right, there's nothing there, but Wasn't there issues with the England game there that no one could get there?
Oh, I tell you what, the worst thing about MetLife, getting there
bargain.
is an absolute ball ache. Especially when you're not in New York with a car. Like, getting to MetLife is a pain. You get dropped off and you have to walk. Oh, it's great that there's all this parking, Gav. Well, when the bus drops you off somewhere random where you can see the stadium, but you're not really sure how to even get there, and you end up traipsing around various industrial units trying to find, I'm trying to get to the NFL game. Do you know which way I have to go? It's a nightmare. And there's so many areas of that stadium where you can't actually walk this way. You have to go somewhere else, and it's not laid out. There's no clear signs. Yeah, MetLife can get in the bin.
I just want to see how ugly
you
it
go.
is. Oh, look, Premio hot dogs.
Oh, look, lots of parking.
Well, the
Yeah.
interesting thing
Is
about
it
this
that
is if
ugly?
we do
Just looks
choose
like
the West,
Corporate buildings. Anyway, sorry, go on.
then both West divisions have SoFi, so that can almost be discounted.
Yep.
And it
So then you've
becomes
probably got State Farm versus Allegiant, maybe, for the bowl trade-off.
yeah. So let's see.
I think
Allegiant
I'd give the
obviously is.
nod to Allegiant.
I'd give the
if
nod
I'm
to
honest.
Allegiant. State Farm's a bit old now.
Then it would kind of be Lumen and Arrowhead a direct corollary, whatever.
Colliery.
of each other.
Correlation.
But they're the two like big loud stadiums.
Mm.
I'm probably biased, but personally, I like Lumen Field more. It's a clink, but I would understand both ways.
I like the George Jetson 1970s angle of the Chiefs sign,
Like the
thing.
bowl kind of sign.
like the weird sign
yeah.
thing, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Let
that
me
is
find
cool.
it. Let me
Yeah.
find it.
I
It's
think
old
I'm
school.
sorry, Si. I think my vote would go to Arrowhead just because I feel like that's a stadium where it's just. I'm slightly biased again because it's red, and as much as I hate the Chiefs, I feel like I respect that venue. I kind of
I
like the
respect
fact
the
it's kind of
red.
it's like a sweeping. It's not like a full curve where it's a full bowl that goes all the way around. It like sort of outtakes a bit, almost as if some giant has taken a bite out of the sort of the top of it, and then the big like sort of oval screens at either end, I think, are really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. The George Jetson-esque oval screens that no one would design now, right?
Yeah,
It's like a George Jetson 1960s, 70s cool.
it's cool how it says like Chiefs on the outside as well, so that helps with the like external aesthetic of the stadium. But then you've got obviously the functional screen on the inside. I think that's just a cool place to play football, man.
Yeah. And plenty of parking.
Yeah, I think that the AFC West wins it because to me, I understand. To me, like the Chiefs in Seattle is almost a push. I get it. The SoFi thing is obviously automatically a push, and then Allegiant is like blowing everything out the water in terms of like a second best stadium in that division.
Yeah.
If it even is the second best, whatever you want to call it, but just in the sense that like, I think that wipes out like either Levi Stadium or State Farm.
Rand's coming at me saying, what about the multi-story? I know about the multi-story car
the
parks, man.
multi-story.
I know about the box park. Don't worry about that. That's not the same. Look at
That's
this.
the
Look at
place
this thing
where
on the screen
drunk
right now.
people throw expensive beer in the air.
Look at.
Yeah, but that's Kansas, not London.
Yeah, I know, but that's why Wembley's
This
terrible.
is, this is it. With do you know this is perfect time for this drop? God, I hate posh people. This is the thing with London. Like they all live there, and then they build a big bugger off stadium there, force everyone in the country that can't stand the place to go there, and then complain there's no parking.
Well, I live very close to Wembley, and I have missed the kickoff of an NFL game because the traffic and there was nowhere to park. Like what the hell?
How many minutes walk is it for you to walk to Wembley?
It's more than you might think. I'm not that close. I couldn't walk there comfortably. It is a drive. Maybe with no traffic, I'd be there in 15 minutes. But there's always traffic. That's the problem. London is impossible. Like you just cannot drive in London anymore. It's just gridlock. It takes an hour to get anywhere. So even though I live it's slightly beyond walking distance, like it's almost beyond driving distance. It's ridiculous.
Okay, well my heart bleeds because we obviously
let me
have to
take out my
drive 4+
tiny little
hours to get to
exactly
London.
tiny little violin out for London. I don't know, man.
Okay, so we're saying
Go elsewhere?
The best. The best division, I'm going to soldier on and try and complete this exercise. The best division in terms purely based on stadiums is the AFC West.
Fair enough.
Perfect. That was the conclusion I came to. So I'm glad,
Clap.
glad you agreed.
Clap.
Horns.
Victory for the South.
No victory for the West.
Victory for the West. Great. Well, I'm glad we've ended on such a high. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I think you're
but no,
right.
I like that. That was
yeah,
good.
I think you're right. No, I think I agree.
I was glad to go through. Lumen holds a special place in my heart, although I don't. Lumen. I hate that name. Such a stupid name.
What's the worst stadium? Because we used to have like the Coliseum.
Commanders?
Is it the Commanders?
For
It's
aesthetic,
that
I
or-
think.
it's
Or
probably
for,
that or MetLife.
Isn't MetLife that bad? It's got good
Where's the
parking.
Titans? Well, I feel like I haven't even seen it. Typical,
They're getting a
typical
new
Titans
stadium.
fashion. They've avoided my.
Yeah, they just don't exist.
They just hid, even though I looked at all these stadiums for
Yeah.
ages. They avoided my gaze.
Nashville, there we are.
Titans is an interesting one
Nissan
because
Stadium.
they're at the Nissan Stadium, but they're demolishing Nissan Stadium and building, I believe, Nissan Stadium right next to it.
A lot of Nissan drivers.
don't know if that
in
shows on-
Nashville.
It looks kind of cool
Jags-
from the outside. It's got like a little boat going along the outside.
Jags is a good shout from our friend Tom.
Yeah, maybe
Could be the
Everbank
worst.
would be.
Yeah.
But again, does maybe having the dog swimming pool just stop it from being last? Just
I don't know,
by
Hank
virtue
might
of
enjoy
being
it.
Interesting.
Tell you, good
And
park-
also they have the big Jaguar guy who bungee jumps off the roof. You know, that's kind of.
Are we saying the worst stadium is the Jags because it's Wembley and therefore Gav's point becomes more important?
perhaps.
Yeah, Wembley is the worst stadium.
Shout out to Spurs, by the way. It's definitely not the worst stadium. I think it's a bloody good stadium, and I really enjoyed watching NFL. at
Definitely better
Tottenham.
than Wembley, yeah.
Heard good things, yeah.
So
Not been
thoughts and
yet.
prayers for all the Arsenal fans that are just upset with that comment. But yeah,
Yeah, but
I enjoyed the
they'll-
day out of Spurs. That was good.
It's
they'll
true.
be, is it the Etihad they're at now? What was the old one?
Who?
White
No,
Hart Lane,
sorry, that's Man City. No, I'm getting confused. What was the old Arsenal stadium called?
Highbury.
Yeah.
Highbury.
You've just
Thank you.
gone through about more football clubs in 5 seconds
God,
than.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
Do you know who
Tottenham.
So
plays
wait,
at
what's the
Highbury
cur-
now?
What's the current Arsenal stadium called?
The Emirates.
The Emirates. That's why I said okay. I said Etihad, but I meant Emirates.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. Go.
And
But
do you know
what
who
were we
plays
saying?
at Highbury now?
No.
Fleetwood
Leighton
Town.
Orient. Oh, Fleetwood. Town.
Do they?
Trick question.
Wait,
Yep. Fleetwood Town is
not
Highbury
the same
Stadium.
place because surely
No,
they're in Fleetwood.
Not the same place.
So
That's why it's a trick
Fleetwood is
question.
where my mum was born. That's my. I've got
I was like, that's a bit of a trek just to be playing home games.
what?
Can we put a best of together of Gav's secret northern confessions
Yeah,
that
I've
he
got
keeps
loads.
drip feeding into
What-
the episodes?
What famous British confectionery is based out of Fleetwood?
Fisherman's
Gavin
Friend.
Marshall.
Explores
Correct.
the north.
Correct. Well done. My
was it?
grandma lived like one road from the Fisherman's Friend factory. I used to go there every summer.
Oh, cool. Fisherman's Friend.
You see, I do this southern northern thing, but really, I'm half northern.
this is why I played this.
Gavin Marshall explores the north. We should do that as a off-season series one day. Fun times.
All right, before we go, because we have gone long again. God, wonder
Sorry.
why.
Someone talking about Wembley.
Before
What?
we go, I think there was 2 random sound drops. I couldn't find any excuse to play, so let's try these. Let's see what they are. We've got one that's listed as Kets.
In defense of Dave, that was after the aquarium closed. There was talk of it reopening as some kind of dodgy establishment.
Oh, that was
Hyper
the
specific.
that was the chariots
That's
hiding.
down the road from me. Yeah.
Hiding as a
Yeah, the gentleman's club in the aquarium.
yeah.
That's nothing
Uh,
to do with Dave Hart for legal reasons.
And then there's a couple left on mine. That's what you people don't understand. It's not the cookery school that's the problem.
That's a classic of the genre.
Again, hyper specific. Don't know when that's going to come on. And for the main ones I was able to get, because I think it's hard to get sound drops of yourself, is I was able to find my little inflection, so I don't even have to unmute myself now. I can just go. Mm, mm,
Mm.
mm.
Nice.
So where is Fleetwood
Mm.
Stadium then? I'm trying to find it.
To Fleetwood.
Mm.
Yeah, I know that. Any ideas?
I'll zoom out. I'll just put it in the sat nav. I don't know where it is. There you go. Fleetwood Town Football Club, right in the middle, green,
As does.
above where the lake is. Zoom in. Zoom in.
Fleetwood Town
zoom
Football
in.
Club. There we are.
There you go.
Boom. Wow.
Fleetwood San.
Why did my granddad never take me there? I'm disappointed. Highbury Stadium, you're right. Wow.
I love the amount that you doubted me there.
Well,
It's
there you go.
got
You can't say that
one-
we haven't
Covered
haven't travelled.
stadiums completely.
we haven't travelled the breadth of the world in this episode. We've gone from Pittsburgh to Fleetwood.
And Grimsby Town play in
Grim-
Cleethorpes, just in case anybody
Why
has that
is
on a
that?
pub quiz.
Is it because Grimsby's so smelly that no one could go there?
I don't care enough to find the answer out.
Right. Oh, I like these old stadiums that's got like a clubhouse on the pitch. And you can go and get your sandwich and your scampi fries from the clubhouse, and then you walk out and sit on a bench and watch the game.
It's no home park.
Accrington Stanley is very good for that. They've got like a bar that is the entire length of the stadium on one side of it, and you can just go and sit and watch the groundsman prepare the pitch before the game.
Really?
Nice bar. You can get like bacon and sausage sandwiches before the game. Really good, and it costs like 20 quid to get in. Great day out.
Oh,
Cav is now going to circle to Accrington Stanley for audio listeners.
yeah.
Who
For the
are
audio
they
listener,
exactly?
by the way, for the
Reference.
audio listener who used to go, this podcast used to be like 2 hours long, and now it's always 3.5 hours long. The back end of the podcast has largely turned into just looking at Google Maps, at least for the off season.
I'm
I
trying to
love
find
that Matt Audley's still here, soldiering on,
Yeah.
listening in an audio format to Gav looking at stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, Matt Audley, Tom in the chat. He says home park. Which one's home park again? Sorry, Tom.
Plymouth.
Home park. Plymouth. Of course it is.
Of course, it's home park, so it's the furthest one away from anywhere, unless you're Tom.
Let's go
Love
there.
you, Tom. Look at that terracing behind the goal.
I
Beautiful.
know I couldn't find the club there, but I want to give Tom some love and go to home park. Let's see.
It's a
Oh, look,
Stanley.
it's got 3 covered
they?
stands. That's a much bigger deal than Fleetwood and Accrington
Yeah,
Stanley.
it's
right?
division higher, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
two
Wait, I
divisions
think,
higher.
I,
One
think I
division
might
higher.
have been to Fleetwood. I think I might have been to
Fleetwood
the-
away on a
come to
Tuesday
think of
night.
it. Yeah, I think I definitely
It's only
went
just
to.
up the road from us, Si.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I definitely went to the Silkworms. Who were they? What were they called? Macclesfield.
Macclesfield. Yep.
That's
And that was a shed.
Always there.
Plymouth Stadium's decent. Tom's right. That's,
PAFC,
that's good.
nice.
Yeah, that's nice. It's actually got the 4 tiers, like 4 banks.
Yeah.
It's got the corner stadium there. It's got a bit
Best
of real-
stadium in
they've
the
actually
AFC West,
tried.
Plymouth Argyle.
Yeah, this has been the thing, right? And you can attest to this, Kets. As a Bolton fan, who was always a Bolton fan, and really just went to home games, right, for most of when I was a kid.
Hmm.
Like obviously, Bolton then got relegated and went down into the lower leagues for a long time and stuff. We've been playing a lot of League One and Championship teams and whatever. And like, oh my god, I didn't realize how bad the average stadium was in England. Like because Bolton Stadium's so good, like modern wise. I just kind of
Did
like
you-
thought they were all like that because Bolton's not that great. So I was like, they must all be like this. No, they're all garbage.
Did you ever go to, was it Burnden Park before it was the Reebok?
Fortunately, only in the womb.
Okay,
I was
fair
born
enough.
just. It was not demolished yet, but it was about to be.
Yeah, I've always liked the Reebok. I think it's a very classic stadium.
When
Yeah.
I was a Palace fan, I used to sit about here or sometimes up here, depending if I was. This was the lively
Palace
section.
I didn't know you were
Palace
a
is a
fan.
great away day.
Yeah, as Palace fan, season ticket holder for a while.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Brother still goes all the time. Brother sits somewhere around here.
Palace
Sometimes
That
is a
makes
great
a lot
away
of
day because
sense.
you've got 2 loads of really, really rowdy home fans on either side of you, so you just get absolutely drowned
Really?
out by
yeah,
just
because the
blue and red.
the away
shouting.
section's here. That's the away block. So this
Yeah,
is the
that's where I've sat.
the ultras sit here, and then you get this is more of a family area, but you still get a nice crowd. Yeah, so you get completely surrounded. This becomes a big section of like that's why all the ultras sit there because they're right by the away fans, obviously.
Great work by Ran in the chat. EAGELS.
Really, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, they need to get some equivalent of that woman to show up and try this. Yeah, I don't know.
And what's-
So, Kets, does this make sense to you? Because I didn't know that Gav had previously been a.
Yeah, he did mention it. I think I've only found it out maybe a few months ago that Gav was
But
quietly a
Palace,
Palace fan.
and to be honest, as a northerner, a lot of these clubs are like this for me, like Fulham, Crystal Palace, like a lot of these kind of London clubs that aren't Chelsea or Arsenal
Mm-hmm.
or Tottenham. a lot of these teams, like I always think to myself, who are the fans of these teams? West Ham, like, well, no, West Ham because I know who the fans are. Like I can picture a West Ham fan, right? The forever
Yeah.
blowing bubbles, like a certain type of Londoner. But like Fulham, Palace, those kind of teams, I'm always like, who is the fan?
Right.
And now I know Gav. I actually can imagine there's a whole sea of Gav type people
There is.
that are the fans of Palace.
Yeah, see,
totally
I live in this area of London now, right, Wembley area. But I was actually grew up in this area here, Epsom, Redhill, Reigate, Dorking, that area. So Palace is like here. So that is the closest team.
Ah.
So you've also
So when
got,
someone says where they're from in London side, they have to name the 4 nearest equivalent town-sized
see-
places that are still drowned by London.
I think that's what's weird to us is that is all below London, right, from a north-south angle, and so like we have we obviously travel through the northern parts to get up and down, but we never think about what's just below it.
right. Well, so that's why Crystal Palace rivals are Brighton, right? They're the closest two
Yeah.
teams. If you grow up in this area, then you're a Charlton fan. If you grew up in this
Charlton's
area,
another one. Yeah.
you're a West Ham
So
fan.
Charlton is
If you grew up in-
down towards Canary Wharf, isn't it? It's near Greenwich, that kind of area.
Southeast.
Yeah.
And then any more up there, then you're getting into Millwall and West Ham, and then you come round Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal,
Leighton Orient.
Leighton Orient, and then you're coming round Watford, Brentford, around this area. So it just and Fulham's down here. So it just depends. It's like you go around the clock, you know.
And my
I
favourite
think it's a
London club
simple-
got left out just there. QPR.
QPR, yeah, well that's
QPR's a great away day.
deep West. QPR is my favourite stadium in the whole of the world. I think.
Wow.
I think it's great to go.
It's
You're
amazing
just so close to the atmosphere. You feel like you're basically on top of the goalkeeper, like you're almost above him looking down. If you stuck your foot out, you feel like you could save a shot. It's that close.
And it's sort of like you can't really see it from this. It's like heavily tiered. Yeah, you can. So it's like it's seating with
Two-tiered,
tiered
isn't it?
seating. Yeah, and the away fans. I think it's that end. The away fans sit around here, and it's just. I remember being in the bar, and you can just see from the bar. You can see this whole bank of terracing. Everyone going nuts, shouting. It's just a really good time. It just feels like 1950s football ground. Do you agree, Ketz?
Yeah. These grounds
100%,
love
yeah.
being square, don't they? These
Yeah.
classic grounds. They just love square.
It's like if you bought a Sabutio stadium.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is it.
What's the thoughts about the old? Well, it's going to be old soon because they're developing a new stadium. But the Luton Town Stadium, where you have to go through some grandma's
Oh, I
back
love
garden to get into the stadium to the
That's
away
so
end.
cool. That's so classy.
Let's go there. I don't know. Don't know anything about it. Oh,
Oh, really? This was a big thing because
Yeah.
they got promoted to the Premier League, right? And everyone was like, they can't play the Premier League with this.
with this thing.
Everyone was like, "You're kidding, aren't you?"
And as always, when this stuff happens, I always think to myself, like, well, they can. Like, it's not their. Why is it their problem to solve? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not their problem. They should be able to
It
play whatever
can.
they want. You have to. If you want to go see it, you have to go and deal with it.
Now,
It's not-
Kenilworth Road was a name that I knew. Oh, yeah, it's only got half a stadium. These guys are in the
Yeah,
Premier
that's
League.
all they've
now.
ever had.
That's why they don't concede.
No, they're back in
They
League
haven't
One
got-
now.
they haven't
Okay,
got-
right.
They're back in League One now, but they were in the Premier League for a
Wait, they're
year.
in League One.
Yeah, they're down in League One.
Oh,
now.
I hate.
So if
do you
you
know
go
what I hate
to
about not
the-
paying attention?
I don't know how I can describe this to Gav when he's scrolling around and he's 30 seconds in front of me.
I
There's
know.
one of the ends
It's just on
where
the street.
it's just on a street and you have to go through someone's garden to get to it. It's probably that one.
It feels like there.
Yeah.
That
Right
feels like
inside of
trouble.
the screen as I'm looking at it. Yeah.
You don't want to be living here on game day. I'm guessing.
Well, they have done for many years.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a problem when they were
Anyway.
in Division 2, like League 2,
Oh.
whatever.
Thus concludes Stadium Review.
Ended
Yeah.
up on Luton Town.
So far through Kenilworth Road.
Through Luton. All right, should we get out of here?
Yeah.
All right.
That's been a
Follow the
fun
show.
one.
That UK Steelers pod. Follow me at Cyril. Follow Gav at GM Boom up. Follow Kets at Kets UK. All on Twitter. Shout out to everyone who stuck with us in the chat. Who was there? Ran, Tom, Jason, Reese. Obviously, Mark jumped in, said hello. Shout out everybody who checked it out. Vegas was
Vegas.
in here earlier on. Yeah, appreciate you all hanging out with us on a
Mesh
Friday.
popped out for a bit.
Never heard of him.
You slap
That's
your
bad.
ass in front of kids these days and they have no idea what you're doing.
Someone should check in on that guy, it sounds like. All right. We'll see you all next week. Hopefully, Mark will be back to defend himself.
Of course he will. Where was Mark? Do we know where Mark was?
He was at a meal, I believe.
A meal.
A meal of some sort.
Pizzeria of some
He had
kind.
to subsist.
All right. Okay, Mark. Have a good meal, buddy.
Ah, my tongue hurts. Leave me alone.
All right. Bye.
All right, cool. See you next week. See you later.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, Steelers.